Hello and welcome to Jarviskjir, Rock of the North. Here we are, no drama, no hassle, perfectly prepared for today's show. How is everyone? How's your Saturday, January experience?
Pretty good. I've just spent all day playing Apex Legends.
Oh, that's good.
And the whole reason why is because you're simping for the new character.
Yes. I mean, I already simmed for her back in Timefall 2, but yeah. I just want some of that simulacy.
They give you...
That's what that tweet was about. Okay, yeah.
They give you just the little teases of Titanfall 2 in that game. Just be like, come on. Remember Titanfall 2? Remember one of the best games ever that never really got support? It's still good. Here it is. It's good. It's still new.
Yeah.
No.
God.
But, we definitely stand a robot psychopath lady. There's at least 2 or 3 characters in Jarviskjir that can be described that way. And if we're going back to older settings, we're double digits at least. So, you may or may not encounter a psychopathic robot lady this week. I don't know. Who knows?
No.
So
we have a wholesome robot boy. So
Goldie's ex-wife shows up.
Yeah, Goldie's ex-wife. Oh no. Oh no, they had a toxic relationship, and
what if though, right? They're an archaeologist, right? And they actually got through to that little cave run through. So she's a Goldie digger.
I think it's Quill and my mission today to break Ollie as much as possible.
It's good. No, I can't be mad. It's a good joke, and it took a lot of setup. Okay. Last week you reached Winterbuck, which was your quest to get a whole bunch of food to bring back to the Northman of Lendr. You did that. You brought the wagon. The wagon is now full of food. You're coming back, and it's actually been a pretty easy trip back as well, aside from some wisps that tried to kill Vincent, but that's fine. That's just an occupational hazard. You are nearly back. You decided to take the safe route, take a little more time, and go towards the bridge that connects Oathensfjord to the north of Jarviskjir, the only real permanent bridge, because it's a large channel that separates the two areas. And when you reached that area, you saw 2 things. First, the ruins of the once great city of Ardenborg burned down when the hobgoblins invaded this subcontinent. Second thing, a fully built new tavern sitting right there in front of the junction in front of the bridge, right where the bridge road kind of goes west, which is where you're coming from, and east. There is now a tavern sitting right there, freshly made, with a sign blowing a little bit in the wind, called the Ardenborg Phoenix. And that's where we ended off last session. It is entirely possible for you all to just ignore the strange little tavern and head on down the bridge. That isn't much of a problem as well.
No,
if you want to look into it,
it's not possible.
Yes, it is.
Snow wants to go in here.
There's no way that's happening, and you know it.
As a DM, I've got to give the
option exists.
The option
exists, so we will ignore it. We are visiting the tavern.
And miss the opportunity for Sir Vincent to show up everybody in the tavern and win some glory through a drinking competition. No way.
Sabriel doesn't trust strange taverns that appear on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Where else is the tavern gonna be?
It's at the Baba Yaga tavern.
Baba Yaga.
Right. Sabriel's like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, no, I don't know, what Snow would suggest, he'd be like, we can stop in for a bit.
Yeah, let's do it.
I concur.
Plus, we might The mayor of Winterbuck said that we should try to reach the Stone Guard. Maybe they'll know about them here.
It's true. And also, surely we'll find something at the bare minimum to warm up these old bones.
Y'all were ready.
Sir Vincent pushes his way into the tavern.
Does Sabriel see anything weird about this place?
You can give me a perception check.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure it's on normal. I checked this time.
16. That's actually pretty good. So the first thing you notice that the other three didn't seem to notice is that this tavern is not finished. It is built. The walls are built. There's these, and it's built with a strange kind of mixture of kind of much more southern human building techniques, which may perhaps you know, come to Sabriel's mind in the forefront. It doesn't really feel like it belongs in this country, but like the glasses in the windows and all that sort of thing. But when you actually look inside, it's essentially empty. You can actually hear hammering of nails and the scraping of woodworking going on inside. The tavern is not fully complete yet, but the door is not locked or anything, and you can push in and get inside away from the little bit of rain that is starting to fall.
To die.
You're not going to die. What? How is a unfinished tavern creepier than a finished one? Surely it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's gonna go in and make sure they don't get themselves killed.
So, the rest of you, as you step inside, you see the grand, like, eating hall of this tavern, and you realize what Sabriel realized. It isn't quite complete yet. There is, like, an area where the bar would be, and it's not really there. While all the walls are done, there's areas where the plastering needs to be finished. There's a lot of fine details that aren't quite done yet. There's even notes in charcoal on the walls of things that need to be finished, usually seemingly actually in either the giant or goblin text, because when you look around, the 4 people working on the inside of the tavern are 2 Borovar, who are a race of giant men descended from stone giants, and 2 hobgoblins wearing blue tabards. One has long black hair that's actually being kept in a kind of pinned ponytail, which is very wood elven fashion style, Sabriel would notice. And they are the 2 hobgoblins are like working, scraping away at some wood. The air is filled with the smell of sawdust and woodworking and wood oils, while the 2 Borovar are actually installing a second layer of glass planes on the main window, so it would be double insulated. And it's all these little glass chunks that they already have. There is one other person in here who is the one, like, they all notice you enter because it's empty. You know, it's an empty place. But the one other person who notices you is who looks to be, I mean, could either be the tavern keeper or the tavern guard. They are sitting at the only finished table on the only finished chair with a mug. They are an Olvaxian. Now, Olvaxians are a race of tieflings with blue skin and horns made of ice. They come from over the eastern mountains, a reclusive queendom called Velheim. But those of you who have encountered them would have noticed that they were kind of, they only started appearing in the last decade in the wider world. You know, Vincent's probably met a couple of them. They're always very polite and very eager to kind of like learn more about you and your peoples and stuff. But only for the last decade. Before then, no one really knew much about them unless you were actually traveling to that queendom itself. This one is, they are kind of androgynous, but very butchly androgynous. They're big. Their hair is in white dreadlocks, kind of in like a bun. Their horns are made of ice. They go up, and then they're very flat at the top, as if they've been like cut or shaved or something. It doesn't seem like they naturally formed that way. And they are wearing bulky armor made of clearly dragon scale. Particularly the scales of a red dragon primarily, but there are areas of white, and even areas of a slightly more metallic hue, and areas where like steel has bolts them all together. It's clearly armor that has seen a lot of wear and tear and experience. But they don't seem to be carrying a lot of gear or even have gear near them. There is a halberd, which looks like it's made out of an almost liquid silver, that is leaning up by them, and they are holding a mug. And they are, like, drinking as you enter, and she'll just kind of lower the mug and just, like, look at the four of you, like, what are you doing? Kind of.
Hi.
Hello.
Greetings.
Do you know where we can find the stone guard?
Well, I mean, first let's
Sorry. Could we have some drinks first?
a round of drinks first would be most preferred.
They're not open.
I don't think
Boy.
you've noticed yet, but we're not exactly open for business, and I'm just a guard. Do we have anything we can give them?
We'll pay. You don't have to give us anything. We'll most certainly pay for shares of your provisions, but just something to warm the belly and the bones and perhaps the heart.
She like gives a slightly perturbed look at one of the Borovar. There's a male, female. They look like they could be siblings. They look very similar. They're bald and hairless. But the female one has kind of almost like a mohawk of rock kind of growing out of the top of the head, almost. And she kind of goes to where they're building the bar, and there's already like things in the walls where they can be stored, and kind of like pulls out some glass bottles of beer. It's like, oh, I suppose we should give them something. They look tired from the road. It's only the right thing to do to travelers. And one of the other one will be like, and we should definitely take their gold as well. So,
Snow will pay for everyone.
Sure, you get 4 bottles of beer. That would
Yeah.
be honestly like a silver.
He'll give him a gold. That's fine. Because he only has gold pieces.
Sabriel's gonna give his beer to Snow because he doesn't like beer. He's just like, no, this is gross. You can have it. He doesn't even try it. He's like, no, here, you just take it.
Should I be wary of the lot of you? You don't have to. I get it. You're like an adventuring group. I get it. I've been there. I've done that. But like you weren't sent by some witch or fiend to like knock down this tavern or anything. Because if you were, I would have to destroy you.
Oh, absolutely not. On the contrary, if you'd like to sit down, he pulls out his deck of cards and starts shuffling. We could play a game of cards and just have a conversation and see where we lie with each other. We might have a good time if we get to know each other.
You can give me a persuasion roll.
No witches, just... Never mind. I don't think Snow would say that. Never mind.
Like, points at Sabriel. We have him.
No, it's gonna... No, don't worry about it.
Tone.
I was gonna give away information that I should not have. And that Snow would not.
That's a bad day.
Don't really do cards. You're welcome to stay for a bit. It's starting to rain. But, yeah, tavern's not open yet. So, it's not like we got rooms or anything.
Oh, that's fine. We were just stopping in to get a drink. Just like you said, weary from the road. We're heading back to town. But I appreciate your hospitality anyway. Then I'll take my beer and sit down.
Yeah, they're at the only table. So, the rest of the places you can sit are like piles of wood. that are not currently in use. Yeah. It's a nice layer of sawdust and stuff.
What is your name? I apologize.
My name's Tripitaka.
I am Snow. well, snow corn, but snow works.
Her eyes like linger on Peep, and I think Peep would see this like clearer because you're kind of like low down. But the hand like behind the mug appears to be skeletal. Like it's a skeletonized hand. It's just bones.
I'm Pete, and Pete looks like they looks like they were gonna say something, and then like, no, that'd be rude, and just sort of, they're obviously like staring at the hand and then trying to look away, but it's just, yeah, I'm Pete.
What is it you lot do?
Adventure and helping people.
Just generally.
Just in
Arm
general.
wrestling
No.
occasionally.
We drink, we tell stories, we have good times, but yes, mostly we try to help as many people as we can.
I'm working. Sorry, I was like, I'm not here for this.
Don't mind him. He's grumpy. He's elderly.
Elves. She'll kind of like stretch, and that's when she's not actually hiding the bone hand. It's just was kind of like behind her mug. She does have a bone hand, and kind of like stretches the muscle. Yeah, she's just, she's not really interested in like pushing conversation, to be fair. But if you have more questions for her or the pair of Borovar or hobgoblins working here, feel free.
So, has witches and brigands been a problem as of late?
Brigands, yeah. I don't know if you've noticed, but like this whole kingdom is kind of a whole crock of shit. I can say that. I don't live here. The king hired me to watch this place till it's done. It's not my usual work. Professionally, I'm a dragon hunter. And she does look at Peep with a sharp-toothed grin. She has quite sharp canines.
Peep's confused, because on the one hand, that sounds awesome. On the other hand, Peep's unsure, because isn't he just like a small dragon?
Yep.
Gabriel's currently like mentally like, don't you give away my dragon friend.
Snow is like, wait, you said you hunt dragons?
How did you luck about these parts in order to get hired by said king?
When you hunt dragons, you travel a long way, and you end up knowing people. I've been in this business for a little over a decade, I guess. I know the king enough, I suppose. I mean, as much as anyone, we common folk can know the great and wonderful king of Oathfenfell is his glorious, twinkly wife.
Gabriel's just gonna look to the side.
Sometimes you need a little bit of extra cash, and sometimes you need some easy work. If you hunt dragons all day, every day, you'll get tired. This is a chill job, I suppose I'd say.
If you believe the elders, there's no such thing as a milk run.
Never really.
Call Sabriel out.
Never really fancied milk. Not really a milk drinker.
Never mind, I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask if tieflings don't have live birth, if they are like late in or something.
Just ask people.
I'm not going to it. I don't even think Snow would think of that.
Someone needs to do the birds and bees talk with Snow at some point. And it's going to be Sabriel's husband. Yeah.
Cal can do it. Cal
Sabriel's
can do it, 'cause
husband,
Sabriel will
actual
do it.
midwife.
Well, no, he'll make Sabriel do the most awkward talk, and then he'll correct everything Sabriel just said.
Yeah. But,
How much of the interaction here, how much of it do I feel like is truthful, and how much of it does it feel like it's double speak?
give me an insight check. So you're here talking with clearly a traveler, as you've done many a time, and how truthful travelers are is always questionable, especially as you lot are travelers as well. Sometimes there's a kind of reason to be like, there's no reason to lie to each other, and you don't really get the vibe that she's lying, but you also get the vibe that she doesn't care about telling the truth either. She doesn't care. She doesn't care about anything at all. It seems.
The or I'll have to destroy you bit. Did I feel like that was from a place of truth, or did I feel like that was from a place of?
They seem very confident in their strength and abilities.
Okay.
They do not seem threatened by you at all, or being in this.
That's kind of what I
country or
figured,
hunting
but I just wanted to
dragons.
make sure
Yeah.
that Sir Vincent was seeing the same thing that I was seeing. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Does she seem like she would like to arm wrestle?
Which
It's a bit of a. Oh yeah. Wait, which hand was the?
Left
Oh.
is skeletal, and I guess do you wrestle with the? I don't know. I guess you wrestle with the right.
Probably the
Shoulder
right arm,
down.
yeah.
You could ask,
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, he would ask her. He'd be like, since it seems like there's not much else going on for you here right now, how about a quick arm wrestle? It's good to keep the muscles working.
My muscles don't exactly work that way, but sure.
Okay.
She'll like literally lower, like put the mug down and kind of like nudge it aside, and then and actually her armor, like the arm bit is removed right now.
Okay.
So on her right arm and kind of the left, but it does still cover up wherever like the join of skeletal flesh and like flesh is. But
Okay.
she will just kind of like arm down on the
Aye.
table.
Let's do it.
Athletics check, baby.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Ooh.
You actually beat her really quickly, and she like you see like that kind of like cool calm expedia just like suddenly wide-eyed, suddenly like shocked, even the little tiefling ears kind of like perk up, and she's like, okay, you're strong. Okay, sure.
And he just gives her like a warm smile, like clearly not trying to mock her at all, just a friendly smile. And he's like, it's always fun to test yourself against others.
I've had my fair share of spars against all sorts of travelers. That's a strong arm, I'll admit. No, I still don't think you'd beat me on my best nights, but you beat me
He
today.
would like, looking them up and down. You would say, he's like, I'm sure you would beat me, many times.
Anything else any of you all want to sort of do?
I'm just gonna finish my drink, and then if nobody else wants to do anything, I'm good to head out after that.
Okay. You finish your drink, you move towards a door. You open the door, you hear a strange but massive noise from far away. The sound of a quaking explosion, and then you see this wave, and it travels from the southwest This wave of dark amber energy, clearly magical, like a tsunami, and it, like you at the door, Vincent, you see it like crash into the Virgin Mountains that you were passing this whole time, now to the west, and you see it start to cause an avalanche, and then you see it and feel it. It flows through the building. It's not stopped by anything. It flows through the whole building. None of you seem affected. The two Borovar fall to the ground in searing pain, unable to stop themselves from yelling out, and you hear the big chunks of stone used as the foundation of this building creak and groan, and like large areas of rock dust just and they crack. In some places the crack is almost carried by that amber energy, and then it kind of cools.
Stu would just be shocked and be like, what just happened?
Are the creatures, are they still in pain, or are they, what's going on with them now?
They are still, like, they're on the ground, like, grabbing at themselves in that kind of fetal position, growling in pain, almost feral in a way, I guess, hissing about, like, actually, it would all be in giant, because, you know, they've returned to that kind of, like, almost infant state. And the words in giant they let out are, like, pain and rage, almost as if possessed.
Yes, Snow would be in shock and, like, he would look to Sabriel and instinctively and be like, what was that?
Two things. Sabriel's not gonna say anything because he doesn't know. He's gonna go over to the two giants real quick and do lesser restoration on them.
Hey, yes. With the very natural kind of prayer you can cast with lesser restoration, it instantly relieves their pain.
While he's doing that, or after he does that, can he detect magic to see if he knows what that was? Or does that feel familiar or anything like that?
I would say give me an Arcana or Medicine check. Medicine's really good. You haven't encountered much of this species before, the Borovar, but they are descended from stone giants, and as you know quite well, the giants took in the powers of the primordials to give them strengths to conquer the dragons, which they did. That elemental strength is still within them, it's still within their ancestors. That wave that traveled through this whole place interacted with the elemental earth within their very body, within their very, like, soul, their very essence, and it had some kind of horrible reaction. It was almost like a conjurer's magic to control an elemental. Often it's done very emotionally, because you are emotional beings. And that's what it seems like the elemental earth inside them was turned to rage and anger and this almost feral attitude, but because they're also mortal, they're also flesh, it just caused a whole lot of pain. Which you have relieved.
Is this similar to what happened with the other one?
Which one?
At the ring?
The one at the ring was a Grendel who was attuned to elemental earth far more than these two, but yeah, kinda. I mean, if they were more attuned to elemental earth, they would be probably just as feral as the Grendel was.
So he's now of the mindset, yeah, we need to get back to my home so we can get back here and deal with this.
I was about to suggest that as well. Like, this is what you're trying to rush home for, correct?
Looks like it. Yes. It seems like that is probably related to the last incident, and he like looks down and makes sure they're fine before he pulls away.
Yeah, they're fine. They're just sort of like shocked, and they kind of like check on each other because they're brother and sister. And they thank you, of course, but they're in shock at that just sort of happening. They're being like kind of almost possessed by themselves for a hot minute.
We should
Yeah.
we should get a move on and get this stuff back to town.
Let's
Yeah.
do that. I've already sent a message home that I'm on my way back, but we might step it up a bit if that's going to continue happening. So.
Okay. Outwards.
How's not Zelius? Did that affect the horses at all?
Nah,
I mean,
the animals
I
are
can ask
fine.
him if you want.
The animals are, momentarily spooked because weird thing happened, but they're not like affected by this, like scourge or whatever. We've got to work out a good name for what happened, but whatever that verb is, they haven't been affected by it.
What about Grim and Goldie?
They're fine.
Okay. Did Grim I don't know though, because like Snow would want to ask Grim and be like, was that like what happened to the place you're from?
Well, I don't really remember the specifics of what happened, but it was definitely foul, and it was the very same magic that moves Earth that afflicted my town in some way. And he actually will point, like you step outside, talk to Grim and Goldie, who were waiting outside because they're the NPCs, and they point to the bridge. This bridge has these big stone foundations that taper a little bit, dating back to the Age of Giants. They're brilliantly like clean and unbroken. And then there's this kind of like probably made by humans stone spackle bridge that kind of uses that as support. And you look at it, and the cobblestones are like moving. They're like switching places and kind of jittering a little bit, making this, the noise when you rub pebbles together in your hand as a kid and like, ooh. It's making that kind of like stone on stone noise. It's not like the whole bridge is like, it's just like clearly that kind of animated even the cobblestones a little bit in a strange way.
So Bridge has got goosebumps.
I don't have Dispel Magic prepared today. Does Grim have the ability to dispel magic? He's gonna ask him.
Let Grim check his spell book. I don't think Grim is a useful wizard, okay? Grim,
No, he's not
Grim
my
is the
necromancer
problem.
then. Got
Yeah,
it.
well, he helped us with the pod racer plan, so
Yeah, Grim does not have dispel magic. Grim doesn't have many spells.
Sabrel can't do anything about the bridge moving right now, so he's just not going to.
We'll
I
be
mean,
fine.
I'm sure it's fine to walk upon. Technically, all the whole globe is moving all the time, right? Unless you believe in that flat Jarviskjir theory. The whole move is
Sabrel just looks at him like, I'm 900 years old, don't start with me.
Wait, we live on a globe? And
big ball.
when Stuff says that, it's like, not because he doesn't believe it, more like he's just like never thought
Never
about
thought
it.
about it. Why would you?
Sabrel's not even going to get into that right now. He's like, just go.
So
Just go.
do we feel like this bridge is turbulent enough to throw us off of it?
You
Does
as
it
a
look
party, you don't know.
turbulent
It's unpredictable. That right now from afar you just see the cobblestones almost chittering and moving and wiggling.
Snow will go test it out. He'll
Structure
go
of
into
the
the
bridge is
middle. Yeah, Snow will walk over to the middle of the bridge and like jump up and down.
when you jump up and down, it actually dislodges some of the cobblestones, and they dislodge and kind of roll through the air a little bit, and then they land, and the individual cobbles will actually turn into a very, very minor elemental you may have encountered before. Snow, give me a nature check.
Okay. I feel like I might know what these are out of character. Oh, unless they're just. Hold on. Let me see. Nature check. Let's find out.
Yeah. You've encountered these before because they're very prevalent in the kind of area you live. There's a very, very minor elemental called a Joro, and they are essentially just animated stones, and you actually see they grow like tiny little legs and arms that are basically just tiny little noodly limbs, and they have very, very basic, like there are sometimes 2 eyes and a mouth, sometimes just a mouth, sometimes just the eyes, sometimes 1 eye. Like, it makes like 3 or 4 of them, and they make these very simple facial features, and then they just start kind of like tumbling around on the ground. They make kind of that pebble clicking noise, kind of, as they move, and they're like they are the size of like a stone.
Sabriel now has a pet rock.
Snow would like look to the rest of the group. Well, I mean, are they like he's gonna say are they like they're harmless, but are they actually harmless?
They are harmless. In fact, they're often very playful. There are multiple times of these minor elementals. The only ones that are violent are the ice ones. But the stone ones, water ones, fire ones, and air ones are just harmless and just kind of vibe. They often enjoy the presence of people. Sometimes they guide travelers, and there are kind of like forest fae equivalents as well, which you would know of several kinds.
Yeah. So
and they're usually they're fine. They're fun-loving little chappies.
Yeah, Snow would look to the group. Yeah, Snow would look to the group and be like, "These are just harmless spirits."
No, that's fine, but Sabriel wants to take like 2 or 3 of them and put them in his bag so we can take them back and study them because they
Give me an animal handling check
Don't abduct
to see if you can catch one.
There's got to be a market for walking rocks that are friendly to people. I have to imagine that some sort of pet rock situation would be just.
You could throw them, then they come back to you.
No, I want to take them, children.
That's a great idea with a sling.
They could walk downstairs alone or in pairs. I mean.
No, listen. Sabriel's like, no, stop, children. I want to take them so we can see if we can reverse the magic that was done. I want to study the magic. That is why I'm taking.
Does Snow have any reason to believe that these were created by the magic, or were they just living?
No,
here?
they were definitely animated by the magic in that moment.
Look,
you could feel it around you happening.
Think of all the happy little children's faces when they get a pet rock on their birthday or something.
There are no children where I live.
As Sabriel says that and tries to like put follow him in the bag, like they are like toddling away and like outspeeding Sabriel, and like you kind of like reach and one like rolls under your legs behind you and like behind Peep, like they are outrunning you. They are and they're loving it.
Oh wait, can Peep try and catch one?
Give me an animal handling check.
As like a
what noises are they making? I want to know. Like
it's like a kind of like rattle noise plus that pebble kind of rolling noise, or like the sound of like a hollowed out coconut would be a good comparison as well.
How this goes. Like the one that
what happens?
Like, it like turns and like it does like the cartoon. It like jumps arms like that, and then and misses and just lands straight on the ground.
And then the Joro will jump on your head, and then jump off, and then it will actually jump onto the fence of the bridge and splash into the water. And by this point, all of them have done that, and even the last one to do one does kind of go like. And then just tumble, and you just hit. Sploosh,
Can I just pry a stone that's moving off the bridge and shove it in my bag before it does?
Yes, that you could do. One that hasn't turned into a Joro, you can do, and it's like you have it in your hand. It just goes like. like a little bit.
It's
but
like
an
it
actual
just does the like noise, legs and arms pop out, and it bites his finger.
No, but all the Joros are gone for now. At least these ones. But if this
It's okay,
quake
he
has
has an
happened
egg.
everywhere, there's probably loads.
he has
Vincent-
a rock egg.
Vincent just stands back
I
and
got a
watches
rock.
his new family or his new friends kind of chasing the rocks down, and he's just got this like ear to ear grin on his face. This is In his
Sabriel
mind,
looks
this has to be the
absolutely
kind-
comical.
this has to be the kind of adventures his wife had imagined him having. This right here, and so he's just resonating with that moment.
Aww.
Sabriel looks just absolutely comical chasing a fucking rock around.
Yeah.
It's like
That's
grandpa trying to chase a kitten.
It's dad with the kitten he didn't want.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's Peep. Yeah, so with that, it does seem like the bridge is stable. It's like it's such a... The quake seemed quite weak here. I mean, if it came from the ring, this is a long way to go. It's like geographically. Even though it's not still, the bridge is moving under your feet. It's not falling apart.
This feels weird.
Was that a canon Sabriel movement?
No, that was Ori. Like, wait, where are we? where on the map? Like,
So you
location-wise?
are, if you okay, let me.
I'm asking for where Cal is at because Sabriel was just gonna be like,
That's
"Did
That's a
you
good
feel that?"
question. That was a good question. One sec, I need to open up the thing.
Yeah, we're like there, right?
You
Yeah, I
are.
think
Yeah, you're basically there. Yeah, right under Ardibor, where it connects is. So you go that way, and I've kind of mentioned that Lendr on the map. Whenever I put something on the map, I change my mind where it should be. Lendr is actually kind of more closer to the coast.
Oh, so it's
Um,
like the L5R maps. No one knows where anything really is.
I'm the DM. I can retcon everything at all times. And this isn't the most. There's actually a newer map that we made for Schism that has all that stuff on it. But you are like there, and based on your knowledge, Sabriel, your husband entered the underground here. So it's
Okay.
actually kind of the same distance away from Slate Cove.
So he's gonna send. Can I use sending?
Sure.
He's gonna ask him if he. Do I have to count it out? Because it's gonna be a short message. He's just be like.
I mean,
"Did
if
you
it's
feel the
less than
magical
20,
earthquake?
you don't have to count it out,
Yeah.
but how do you know unless you
Do-
count out the 25?
Did you feel the magical earthquake's one word, and then rocks started moving.
I liked the attitude of like, don't you fuck with me, Ollie. Earthquake's one word.
Not
Yes, you
today,
can-
Satan.
You can send that to your husband, Calravale, and you do get a response of, I was tempted to ask the same. I thought it could have been in battle against me, but this is a global event. Worrying,
do I have another-
Sabriel. 25.
Okay, I got one.
He
more
knows.
spell slot.
He could do it too. He's like competent.
I got one more spell slot. He's gonna send another message back and be like, "No, it came. Hold on. No, it came from the ring that I told you about. That I am coming home to discuss with everyone." That's 25. Wait, no, it may have been 15. I don't know, but
I think that was 20. I don't know. It wasn't
20,
25,
yeah.
but that's fine. Yeah, he doesn't reply. You know, doesn't need to now, but yes.
No.
Yeah,
No,
smart.
Sabriel's like,
People
"Alex!"
who people
So-
who do rattle sending must be so good at Scrabble.
No, I'm terrible at Scrabble. Don't. Oh no.
So should we take this bridge like one person at a time? We don't want this thing flinging us off. So are we worried about the bridge? Am I the only one? Okay, never mind.
No,
I think it
no.
should be okay.
We
maybe.
have giant rock friend. No, Sabriel. Yeah, it should be.
I mean, if snow can jump up and down on it, you know.
I think we should be fine to cross it, but we should do so quickly before the rest of the bridge springs to life.
Peep scampers across it. It feels weird. It feels weird. It feels weird.
And as you do, you can see like behind Peep, the cobblestones like switching places often. They kind of like pop and resettle. But each of you, one at a time, can cross. There's no checks necessary. Again, it's moving, but it's not unstable. As long as there are good bones to this place, we can rebuild. So it's still good. You can get across to the other side, where you can even see, as you get across the other side of the channel, like on the cliff on each side, like chunks of stone, just kind of like, there's a chunk of stone, just peels off the cliff like a slice of wet cheese, and then tumbles into the ice below. Like, weird stuff is happening to the stone. But mostly harmless.
So I was like, I just want to go home. We need to deal with this.
So, back on the travels. Quick to Lendr.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The travel back should not even take more than a day, depending on the weather, which I will check right now. It was starting to rain a little bit, but it's not even that bad, and it's not even that cold either. You can muster through it and get back to Lendr quite late in the day. From the route of which you approach, you are kind of well, actually, do you want to kind of approach through the kind of the coastal route that you actually entered from, or take one of the bigger entrances to the hill city?
Does it matter which way we come in?
I guess whichever one's like
the coastal
closest to
road
where
will
it
actually
comes
take you
from.
closer to Griff's ancestral forge faster, and it's also
Yeah.
a quieter route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Travel over how much route?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take that one then.
Okay.
Let's go.
As you enter and you start climbing up the cliff, and you can hear the sound of the city. You do hear, you know, it's definitely much more animated than it is on a regular day, possibly due to the quake. And when you're actually taking the route kind of around some of the walls that were made around the biggest point of the hill, where the Lendr family forge is, you hear sounds of magical combat further down the road. And when you approach, you actually see Smart Mantle, the woman who owns the bookshop that actually gave you this quest, is fighting two creatures made of stone and sand. She's holding onto this amulet, and from the amulet there is like this almost pulling strand of red light that is trying to like hold onto these. It's like one creature that's kind of like two creatures, and you can see them like pulling apart, and like the stone crumbling, creaking. You hear the noise of it. You smell that kind of the rock dust, sandstone, and sand. And these creatures are completely made of stone, almost look like if an earth elemental was starved. It's smaller, it's thinner, it kind of has bones, and the hot sand pouring from them. And they are both, it looks like, you know, they've been wrangled to the edge of the city by her. But become quite aware of your presence as well, and after a quick little break, we're going to deal with that. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Alright, get out of here! you listen up, here's a story of how every rock got mad.
Thought he was gonna go into the fresh.
I don't know enough.
For a second.
I don't know enough.
Well, I thought he was gonna go to like, this is the story of a girl. That one, you know.
No,
That would have been good.
The cadence was Fresh Prince all the way.
Oh, I was going with the thingy that I'm blue.
Oh yeah.
Who would have been walking in front of the party? I haven't put you on the spell map yet. Yeah, okay.
I probably would have been
Good.
leading the way at the front.
Now I gotta add a horse. Now I gotta add 2 horses.
Yeah, I'm
got
on
a
Pearl.
rock in his pocket too, though. That's kind of bouncing about.
Actually, wait. Yeah, doesn't Vincent have his horse again now?
Yep.
Yes.
No, both of you
Yeah.
have horses.
And then we have the mule as well. So
Yeah, I'm not putting the mule on.
He
that's
never
fair.
puts the mule on. Poetry always has to draw.
I'm drawing it, baby. We're drawing it, baby.
You know what? That's just, make your own content. It's rewarding.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also at this point, let's see how many spell slots Sabriel has left. Not many. I
Did we
got
get a-
5 spell slots left. Good luck.
I'll give you.
Didn't we get a
control of
long
the
rest?
seconds.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
less
it's
restoration.
been. Yeah, you Sabriel used their spell slots, but the rest of you should be full.
Just
this
FYI,
is-
don't get hurt. I got first level spells and 1 second level spell left.
Okay.
I got some healing. We're good.
I like how
Yeah.
the more Poetry draws Krita, the more she ends up looking like a cow.
Wow, she looks like a freaking Five Nights at Freddy's secret level character. She's about to do the bite at 87.
No. She looks like one of the bosses from Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Oh, I thought you were going to go even older. Atari Dungeon. Which it
Oh,
always
man.
asks if I'm
So
playing when I
mad.
set up the stream. It's like, no, I'm not playing Atari Dungeon.
Holy shit, you guys are playing Oregon Trail.
You kind of
Leave me
are.
alone.
You kind of have been for the last 3 sessions. Luckily, none of you caught dysentery.
I don't
but-
think they pod race the carts across the river in Oregon Trail, but okay.
I'm immune. I can't catch dysentery anymore.
Well, some people live in a brilliant life. Roll
They're
initiative.
Paladins.
I can catch a cup full of cyanide if you still want to throw that at me, but
It's initiative time.
I'm not immune to that.
Ah, shit, I caught
I'm
sign.
not immune. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh shit, I
we're-
caught cyanide.
Oh, we're rolling initiative.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow,
I
it's a
hear that
high.
in Vincent's voice though.
Yeah, exactly. That's like in character. Like you're discussing your
Wait, what?
abilities as they grow. Who
Oh, there we are.
am I missing? Yeah.
Hi,
Joe.
Joey, what are you doing?
Am I missing a Vincent? There it is. Okay, then if I put you in order, we see a situation that looks a little bit like this. And the creatures are going to move first, which is great. Means I have no time to prepare. That's lovely. For the record, before anyone asks, your NPCs are, as ever, slightly off screen. Unless they need to be necessary. The creatures. These withered, relatively small and kind of slight stone elemental beings like stone and sand will kind of snap their attention away from Smart Mantle towards the lot of you and then start moving very quickly. This one will anyway.
Oh, no. It's because I have their baby.
And it is like one of those, like, it does almost move with super speed, like the flickering of a flame. Just kind of like rumbles across the ground. This one won't move that way, though. It'll actually go up closer and attack her. And will hit twice because she's, like, a civilian who can cast a couple of spells.
Oh no.
She's not wearing armor. And hit her twice. Actually, do quite a lot of damage. And it's clear that Smart Mantle is not a warrior. I mean, she is a well-dressed, depressed librarian. Casting a couple of spells from her amulet. But as she's hit, and these are like really like kind of throw her aside, the creature just kind of like slams and claws and rakes like a feral creature, even more feral than the skeletons you fought. She does kind of draw from the amulet and cast Hellish Rebuke, this emblazing flame from her that has no effect on the creature.
I switched it to friends instead of invite only,
So,
and ta-da.
after that, it's Peep.
All right, Pete is going to. Let's see. 10. What's the best way around?
Yeah, there's a lot of horses in the way.
Yeet you. Just get Snow to pick you up and yeet you.
Yeah, I can move through.
You can move through
Snow's-
friends, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. 5, 10, 15, 20. So move here, and then swing. Oh wait, no. Just remember that the horses are friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
pack
especially because that's
tactics.
Pearl too, and Pearl is like literally a super horse.
Pack tactics.
So I would definitely allow pack tactics. Not Zelius? I don't know. Wow. Okay, that's
7,
really
8,
good.
9. Oh, that's 24 damage.
Nice.
That is 24 damage.
Yeah.
You can
If-
swing.
I'm assuming all that hits.
It does all hit, and it does a lot of damage too. It's not one of those things where it's like it glances. Like, no, you like swing and like you lop off one of its arms. And then you hit again and it locks this big chunk out. It's a relatively soft stone. There's also all these like cracks and pressure points that when you hit, like chunks come out and it kind of resettles and reforms in very awkward ways. When you do this, the elemental creature will kind of like twist its head towards you and it will growl out in common, "Parasite!"
What? Peep is slightly offended and confused.
Smart Mantle is going to disengage and start running. She has to like pull up her dress a little bit with one hand, and she's like holding the amulet with the other because there's still this like string of magic that's connecting the amulet to these two creatures. And she'll run towards you a little bit. Snow.
He will also. I see 2 Vincents in initiative.
There's 2? Oh, there are 2.
There are,
Well, you know what?
They have the same one though, so that's really funny though.
It's good. It's fine.
I didn't know paladins could split off by
I
mitosis.
see. Yeah. But
Well,
also,
if you're Sabriel, they're humans. They breed like rabbits.
so yeah, so Snow is going to he's gonna rage and he's just going to, which makes his movement be 55 feet. So
Yeah, we haven't really seen this yet.
so he's gonna go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's
like
gets
you
all the way
zoom around the horses, big horses.
Yeah. He kind of spins around and then whips out the great sword as he comes down on the other side.
Obscuring
And that is flanking, I'm assuming.
Yep, you are flanking.
obscuring
Yep.
because you're obscured by your
Well, let's see.
That is a hit.
Okay.
But how would you
There should also be, I think, I forgot to put the rage on. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's an extra
So,
2.
play?
then another attack
Unless
comes
you go
in.
on top and then you lose the benefit anyway. And
That is
And-
another hit. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, big chunk could be taken out of his elemental. At this point, it's really starting to look weaker. You can actually kind of see that, like, it really is like amber. Like, there's kind of like amber energy coming off of it. This raw, unfiltered elemental energy. And it's, like, starting to, like, flicker and wane and letting out this breathy growl as that happens.
Okay. Yeah, he just comes in, lops off those chunks, and that'll be it.
So, Vincent the First.
Question.
Mhm.
How possible would it be for me to back up away from this creature, own Pearl, and then use the trampling charge to go past the creature? Just like charge over it.
There's rules for going over creatures. It is a contested athletics or acrobatics check. So what you would do is use. Does trampling charge give you advantage?
So The Warhorse ability trampling charge makes it where if you move at least 20 feet straight towards a creature and it hits it with the hooves attack, they have to make a strength saving throw to be knocked prone. And then if the target is prone, the creature can make an attack with hooves against it as a bonus action. I don't care about the extra bonus action attack. I just want to be able to keep moving after that. If I can not get prone.
Yeah, let's do it like it's an alternate trampling charge where it makes the save against being knocked prone, and then you can just trample over it with advantage. Or make the check to tumble is what it's called. So, what is the DC of trampling charge?
14 strength.
And first of all, you're going to back up and then charge it again, which does mean it gets an opportunity attack against you.
Right.
Which it misses, so it doesn't really matter. And then it's a 10 DC, which it is going to actually fail, because it's quite a frail creature. So you can knock the creature down with Pearl, and then make a athletics or acrobatics check to see if you tumble through.
Okay. It's with her athletics.
Yeah,
right?
With advantage.
Okay.
Not as bad as Trench Wars, but why are there spirit dwarves?
And they can only defend with athletics, which is really good for you because these are weak. If there's acrobatics, you'd have a happy situation.
But deficit canister.
I don't know how to do that with advantage though.
Detritus hit.
Sorry, I don't have a thing set up for that. Give me one second.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I should really give you a little NPC sheet for Pearl.
I don't have a macro set up for that. I'm gonna have to roll it twice if that's cool this time.
Yeah, that's fine.
With the advantage.
Yeah. Yep. Remind me before next session to give you a sheet for Pearl. Well, that rolls garbage, but the advantage is good, and it's good enough because these creatures are quite weak. So yeah, you can back up, charge the creature with your horse, which, in universe is like a workhorse from your farm. It's got the stats of a warhorse now, but it's still just like a farm horse. And just barrel over it, and the hoofs trample onto the creature, so you can charge through. That's totally fine.
Okay, I want to get as close to her as I can.
Mm-hmm.
It's a move of 60, but you move back 20, so...
Yeah, you've got
20,
10
20.
and then another 60, basically. So you've got 8 spaces. No! That's completely wrong. You've got 14 spaces you can move. There we go.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I can get right next to her then.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which way round you have the... I find that easier than having the horse be large size than fumbling where you are on the horse, so that's totally fine.
Right. And that's my turn.
Excellent. Sabriel.
Sabriel is going to risk an opportunity attack.
Mm-hmm.
If it gets one.
It will. It's on its disadvantage. It fumbles. It's horrible. It misses. No risk at all.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash on the horse to get right up next to it.
Why can you do this? Is this a feat ability?
I'm not gonna, or not my bonus action, my action. I was thinking something else. Ignore me.
Yeah.
No, I said the wrong word. At my action to get right up next to this one. So, that's not the entirety of the movement, but I'm gonna stop there.
Yeah.
That way it's focused on me. I was thinking for the bonus action of a spell. That's what I was reading a spell when I said that.
Easy enough to happen.
Can he compel duel on it?
Is that a bonus action?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Click it and see how it works. I need to be able to see it.
That's where my brain was going.
Creature,
I just said
wisdom
everything
saving throw. I see what happened. It is actually going to pass if that's a wisdom save. Yeah. it's one of those things where you can kind of cast the magic of a compelled duel and try to lock this creature's attention on you, but its mind is far too hectic.
That's fine. It was just an attempt, but he wanted to get right up next to it because I want to try something next turn.
Well, the creature is going to try and kill you.
That's fine. It can try.
What's your AC?
I don't know. Hold on. 15.
It's going to hit. As it hits, it like slams you with its claws, and then all of this hot sand starts flowing upwards. Give me a dexterity saving throw. You can use yourself or the horse. I think you are better than the horse. I don't know for sure.
You let me look what the difference is. Barely. My mouse is being weird. It won't let me click. There we go.
There we go. That is literally the DC, so you're fine. It's like you can kind of rear the not Zelius up long enough to kind of stop that shit happening. It is going to deal 10 bludgeoning damage to you.
Okay.
And then it's going to miss with its second swipe. This one
That's fine.
is going to use half its movement to get up. And then it's going to... I think it's going to attack Peep.
Oh,
Ah,
Peep.
how rude.
What's your AC, Peep?
It is 16.
First attack, like it swipes at you and the claws kind of like... And they just kind of end up pulling at your chainmail. They don't do any more damage. The second attack does hit, and it's going to kind of grab your tail and hold on and squeeze. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Ow, ow. Dexterity save normal.
You are going to fail. You're going to take 10 bludgeoning damage, and you are then
Owie.
going to immediately take... it's
He's
going
gonna get
to
turned
be
into a rock man.
9 piercing damage as all this sand
Ow.
starts billowing around your tail, and it's still there. There's this whirlwind of sand around you, Peep, digging like into your scales and against your skin and under your armor, essentially remaining, and it is going to do continuous damage.
Wow.
And it's actually going to do continuous damage now, because it's the start of your next turn. So it's going to do another 4 piercing damage at the start of your turn.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am gonna take 2 swings of the sword, advantage. Whack, whack.
First attack is a hit. Second attack is actually also a hit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it still standing?
Yes.
Is it bloody?
Oh, yeah. Very much so.
Alright. Well, I am going to action surge, and I'm going to hit it twice again. Yeah, yeah.
Those ones are not hits. The remaining core of the creature is
swinging
too
wildly.
solid. Yeah. Use all the adrenaline to move. It's just not very finessed.
And then is that a on your turn bonus action? Cool. Then I'm also gonna second wind. So bonus action. So I'm fight level 5, so it's D10 plus 5. Six. It's something. It's healing,
Nice.
and that is my turn.
Smart Mantle is going to just try and, get in a relatively safe position there, away from, in between the two monsters. Snow.
Snow is gonna try to lop this thing's head off. Let's see if he can do it. First attack.
That's a hit, and that's actually a kill. So, you can, just with one swing, launch the head off, and the body just crumbles to, thin slates of stone. The sand whirling around Peep is still there.
Oh no. People have to deal with that on his own. He'll be fine.
That's your problem, buddy.
Snow is gonna go. Let's see. I have 55 movement. Let's see. 1,
Sounds like a personal
2,
problem.
that's
So
10,
harsh.
15, 20,
You meant to be
30.
family.
35,
I go-
40, 45, 50, 55.
I want the
Keep us,
corner of this
please.
thing's eye, like the one that's fighting Sabrel. It's just this hulking figure just sprinting
Yeah.
at high velocity down
And
the
especially
road.
when Snow's sprinting, all of the blue tattoo shapes that are growing, are definitely
Yeah.
glowing
It's
to.
true. Yeah, and he'll run this way, and then I think with extra attack, you can. It doesn't have to be the same weapon or anything, right?
Yeah, you can do any other attack
Okay.
in any way.
So I
use
will
javelin.
chuck my only remaining javelin, no rage damage if it hits, I believe, and it will just be
Yeah.
normal. But it's still better than nothing. Let's see if we can get it.
That is a hit. Yeah,
Okay.
this one that has been undamaged because it kind of has this almost skeletal thing you can kind of lodge between the bone ribs. It's just like.
Okay, and that'll be it for him.
Vincent.
Okay, so I would like to reach out my hand, looking behind me, and just fire off a guiding bolt at the creature from where I am.
Nice.
Like I said that many times.
That is
Ooh.
unfortunately going to be a miss.
Okay, then I will move up back next to her, and
Nice.
that'll be my turn.
Sabriel.
It was a digital.
Do
Untie
and I'm okay if I need to make a check to see if I need to do this. Can I determine if I can use lesser restoration to get this thing to not be crazy?
Ooh. Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
It'd be real awkward if we could have saved the other one. I just lopped its head off.
Oh, that's
Well,
always the way. You
I-
did the same thing with the robots.
Yeah, they broke my spear. I'm still mad about that.
So you have a degree of realization of what these creatures are. They are collectively called geists. The terminology lesser beings would use is undead elementals. That is, of course, a very incorrect parlance, but essentially elementals that do not have enough energy or have been partially dispelled or have a hard time going between realms. Because the elemental realm, the primordial realm, is locked off from all the other realms, and only small ones can come through. That is why Joro are quite plentiful. They can come through, and they can also form on this side. This creature is fundamentally kind of ended up this way. The only way to fix it is to break it or be a very powerful earth mage, which you're not.
It's too far gone, so okay. In that case, he's gonna swing with him sword from atop him horse. Where's my sword? There it is.
Where is my sword?
I don't know. Sabriel loses it a lot.
It's a hit?
Plus what? What's the
Plus
extra
4.
damage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a good hit. A fine hit! And you don't get an extra attack, unlike the rest of the party.
Literally everyone but Sabriel gets an extra.
Grim
Yeah, but
doesn't
you
have an
get
extra
to
attack.
explode enemies, though. You get to explode people.
He does.
Snow doesn't
Frequently.
get to do that. Well, he could do it in a very mechanical sense, I guess. But
Sabriel just red mists everything.
Being hit by that strike, the Geist, the Terror Geist, of course, because this is an Earth Geist, kind of shrinks back and will glare at Smart Mantle with the amulet. That, probably Peep and Vincent would see, when the other Geist was killed, the stone was the ground, and this essence, the amber essence, kind of got contained into one of her pockets. And it kind of looks at her and is going to move. Provoking opportunity attack.
Swingy swing.
From both of you, actually. So
Oh, from me?
poetry from Snow as well.
Oh.
You're gonna miss there, Sambriel.
Okay, let's
That's
see.
fine.
And yeah, let
Does
me.
it charged out ability? Yes.
Okay, yeah. So let's. Sorry, there you go.
Oh ho ho ho! That's a massive strike as it's running. It's one of those things where you can kind of maybe like hold your sword out as it runs past you, and because it's like so feral, it just kind of like runs through the sword and then like reforms the chunk of stone left behind. But it does. First of all, Smart Mantle managed to dash to the side, and also, you know, Vincent, you can kind of get in the way with your horse. Do you want to use your defender ability? I see.
Yes,
I
please.
saw the movement. I will reroll, and it's good because the roll I did on the attack. Oh, the second one. The first one was a miss. The second one started as a 20, switched to a 1. So it's one of those things. You know, it's charging, and Smart Mantle actually seems momentarily stunned. She can seemingly see the future slightly, and she sees a future where she gets tackled by this thing and kind of burnt in sand, and then all of a sudden Pearl's like back legs just like kick it like launch it to the ground. It's like crunches down. It will actually be prone. Peep. It makes that noise that that like Age of Empires like ow sound.
That's so good.
I was close to doing it the first time, it was in my brain.
That's like the default Star Wars Trooper death sound, like that.
It really is.
Well, there's still a strip of sand around Peep's tail, so there.
Yeah,
he's
you're
gonna,
going
like,
to actually start your turn, taking 5 more piercing damage.
5 damage. Okay, that's fine. I'm still pretty decent. I'm guessing if I try and like claw it off my hands, nothing much happens.
It seems that you cannot do it alone.
Even like
Sabriel!
Sabriel!
I abandoned
I'm gonna
Peep.
boom. Okay, tell you what then. People 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then okay, there's gonna be 2 things I'm gonna do. What? People, he'll like stick his tail into the snow. Does that seem to stop it?
No. It does, like,
No.
there's like a moment, there's a moment of cold reprieve, and then the sand just up around you
Yeah.
and starts like a swarm of bees.
Then
The
Like,
sand
it's like a
surrounding you.
cartoony thing where it's like, oh, like jumping around, like bouncing on
Yeah.
Peep is bouncing on the butt.
Okay, then the other thing I'll do for the end of the turn, people just grab the hot rock and put it near and see, like, does it do anything?
No.
Okay, hot rock back.
Baby boy.
I guess I could tell you what, actually, no, I'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'll dash. Snow, get this off me! Please?
It's like you're screaming and Snow is like still in a rage, and Smart Man is like, oh, for the sake of all the hells, and will go up and just kind of like try to help, and she does. Someone else needs to do the action to remove this effect. She kind of like brings some magic into her hands and like to like a sand ball, and then will just crunch it. And then it will.
Wow.
And she will hide behind you. Oh, you're so hot. Snow.
Wait, so
Terra Ghost is on the ground, and Peep is no longer
Okay.
ablaze with
Okay,
sand.
yeah. I was gonna make a joke and be like, "Here, I'll take care of it. Chop the tail off." No, just kidding. He
It will
wouldn't
grow
do
back,
that.
right?
He
You're like
he
him.
wouldn't do that. No.
You're a lizard, it'll grow back.
I just thought that would be funny, but no, obviously he wouldn't do that. But
It's not
oh
canon.
god, no, wrong way. Yeah, that's it. I don't know if I'm technically flanking here. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna smack it though. I guess I would have advantage anyways though, wouldn't I? Because it's prone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're right.
I just realized it doesn't actually matter. So
That's
yeah.
bullshit.
Okay, so I
Rules.
will bring down the sword to try and stab it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's the first one. And then
Lift up, down again, like killing a hobbit.
oh, bad damage roll. But,
Yeah,
you know.
the Terrorgeist is still squirming and wiggling, and it's like grabbing onto the sword and like almost pulling its way up the sword to get kind of closer up to you.
Okay.
It's still
Yeah.
moving. It's still screeching. It's the words are a lot more faded now that this one's injured, but it's just like the giants. It's like words like rage and parasite and things like that. Of that nature, you know. Monster barks. Vincent.
I am just gonna have Pearl walk over and just trample it. I'm gonna have her step on it.
Yeah, it's on the ground. That makes a lot of sense. So you have advantage. I actually wonder if I can do this now. Warhorse. I can. Maybe.
I roll the same thing twice.
Nice.
It's a
Well, it's a
15.
hit. Yeah. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh,
One sec. I may have found a secret bean of knowledge. In players' journals, Vincent can be edited by Vincent.
oh,
And then
nice.
I can even go like that. I don't know if that's going to work, but I forgot the Roll20 has a lot of the basic animals just in
It
it.
actually did perfectly.
Yeah,
I
okay.
can roll everything that's on the character sheet now.
All right, 8 damage. Fine, you know it's like one of it's like it's trying to claw its way up Snow's sword, and Pearl just like stomps at it with their hooves, and it's like like half its head kind of crunches inwards, but it's still kind of moving.
And I will move over again next to our friend here.
Mm-hmm. Sabriel,
What am I gonna do? I can
Your
get
best.
close enough to do I can get close enough to do the thing. He's gonna get close enough to do the thing.
but what thing do you mean?
His favorite thing to do. We'll just
Scooch.
be done with it. Oh wait, do I have advantage on that?
Yes, so reroll.
I forget things. I don't forget you. You're right here.
I wish I could forget you. Well, no, less damage. Never mind, but it's still a hit.
Well-
It's
It's more. Oh yeah, it is less damage than that.
and that's actually exactly the damage you needed. So the trend of Sabriel kill stealing with inflict wounds continues. You can go up and like Snow's fighting this thing, like trying to push it off the sword, and Pearl even helps like crunch it with the hooves, and you go up and like tap it with the end of your sword, and it just kind of all this molten rock just pebbles everywhere, and probably will like hit Peep and Snow, and then like the essence of amp essence goes into one of her pockets.
Truly a marvelous warrior to behold.
This is why we really need to get back to my residence so that we can try and find a way to stop this. Sabro's not even gonna like hear the compliment. Nope. It's just like, nope, we work.
So, Smart Mantle, are you okay?
Yes, I felt that this was going to happen before it happened. I felt a warning of it, and I tried to lure the Geists out of the town. And now, and she'll hold up like two. They actually wouldn't be smooth crystals. They'd be like very like found in the river, rough crystals. They even still have like some rock on them, but they have the amber light glowing in them now. They almost look like amber, but they're not, because it's kind of like the amber light is coming inside, and it is like almost, you could almost see the faces of the Geist in there. Which, if you are returning to your Golden City, that might be of aid, I suppose. She will say,
I
like,
can
approaching.
take that.
She'll give them to you.
Does she look pretty pretty busted up still?
She took like 16 damage, so she's probably like half health, I guess. So she's not doing great.
I'll reach a hand out and just say, my lady, if you don't mind taking my hand, I'll see what I can do about those wounds.
She looks hesitant, but will do so.
And I'll put 10 points of my lay on hands into her, healing her.
Unlike anyone else you've ever done this spell to, or this, it's not even just this ability that comes from your faith, she seems to be in pain when it happens. You see the claw marks heal, but it's like a painful healing.
My apologies, I've never experienced that.
I'm sure it's nothing. You want to keep... You're trying to solve this as much as I am. You should continue. You should do as much as you can. I'll keep trying to make some sense of it here, I suppose.
Yeah. Snow wouldn't really know what to say because he doesn't know what's going on with these things, anyways. Snow would look to Sabriel and be like, "Do you know what any of this is?"
It's to do with that ring, and I know it's more than what we can deal with alone, and if there's more of this, then it's going to take more than just us to deal with it. So my thought is take these home and the wiggly rock and the notes and everything that I have written report-wise and see what we can find and probably get some help to deal with it. And he'll explain that he did in fact contact him husband, and the rocks have come alive where he's at as well from that.
Yeah, I guess Snow would suggest that we drop the food off and then get
And I
ready
can
to
get
leave.
my
In case.
actual
Well,
mount.
Yeah, I think didn't Snow ask for his payment to be armor,
Weapons and armor. Made for
weapons
you.
and armor?
So
Yeah.
you might, but you'd have to stay to get them forged.
They were working on it while we were gone.
They didn't measure you yet.
Oh no! Oh my god!
I mean, I think
I actually
they
can
would
even
be
imagine
coming-
that conversation happening with like Vincent. Like you're going back and like Vincent's like, no, they didn't measure you. It's not going to be ready yet.
I also just realized I had the helmet, right? But does it have like holes cut out for my antler horn things?
Yeah, I remember us talking about it. Yeah, roughly, but it
Okay.
doesn't fit very nicely now that they've grown.
Okay. Yeah. So I might need to get that adjusted as well. But
So
Everyone's gonna be like, we can come back. We are coming back.
you can. So next up is go to Clan Lendr with the food. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
yeah, drop
Okay.
off our stuff.
You can head inside, and you do see, as you enter the town proper. This was kind of, you know,
Right.
it was the access road to the industrial
No,
estate
I-
behind the town. You know, you take for a shortcut, but it's not very nice. You know, it's not the scenic route. And as you head in, you actually do see people chasing stones that are rolling away. Like, big chunks of buildings, like, move. Like, stone is moving. Not always aggressively. It seems like the only aggressive stuff was the Geists. Luckily, it's a small amount right now, but even then, stone is moving. And you can head to the Clan Lendr Forge, which is essentially also the, like, town hall for the town. You know, this big structure with the kind of almost ribs of an ancient creature that the entryway is built with. And as you approach, Griff will rush up the ginger Northman, who is not quite the mayor, but, you know, is kind of like the mouth of the town, right? Mouth of the clan. He's like, you bring bounty. That's excellent. That's amazing.
Well, we didn't want the town to starve in the winter.
It was starting
So
to get a little hard. Aye.
We loaded up everything we could.
Excellent. You've done amazing, my friend. And he will, like, pat Snow on the arm and kind of whistle over some people and be like, take these, send them down to the food hall. Like, start, you know, getting stuff sent off, and that's when you can, you know, take the seeds off the side of Sabriel's horse as well, and, you know, take some of them inside the forge and all that kind of stuff. Like, that can be done, but, you know, he will kind of look, and as, like, people are sending something off, someone, like, nearly trips because they're, like, walking over some flagstones on the ground, and one of the stones goes, and they, like, nearly tumble, and he looks and goes, I'm not the wisest in my family, or the town, but you wouldn't have something to do with all that now, would you?
No, we are trying to fix it.
Never mind.
I that is why I am here in the first place.
Then, if you're in a rush to do that, would you have time for us to forge your armor, Snowcon? We'll sort something out. You're going in a rush. And he'll, like, motion for you to come inside, Snow.
Okay.
It's up to the others whether they want to do as well. Like, not just inside the hall, but, like, actually into the forge as well, which seems to be a bit of a ceremonial space. And as he does do so, like, the heat increases, goes from cold outside air to a blacksmith's forge, and a very ceremonial one at that. You can feel the heat of the fire, you can smell the coal and the coke, and things being made by the much older members of the family. And will kind of, like, point at someone who looks like maybe his little sister or something, be like, we're gonna have to get his size, and if they're gonna be dealing with all the wandering stones, maybe next time you're in town we'll have armor ready for you. And until then, I said that you're not the only person your size that we've forged for. There is another, and I think there might be even of things we've made of their size that might have lying around. And he will go and look around while Griff's sister will go up and start, like, taking your sizes and things. And
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Snow feels probably a little awkward getting measured like that, but he's like,
yeah.
That for the
After a few minutes, Griff will come through dragging a bundled essentially quiver pouch of giant-sized javelins.
Let's go.
Well, we don't.
You're
There
gonna
are
lose all of them.
Oh yeah, but that's why there's multiple. There are 6 here.
Let's go.
They are these big. They're not. They have like the point of metal, and the rest is kind of wood with the occasional metal banding, and they're designed to be aerodynamic and designed to kind of be of your size. Or they could actually kind of be used like a lance on someone on a horse that isn't your size.
Okay.
And 6 large-size javelins, which makes the dice pool go up 1 tick, which is what, like now it's a D10, I guess, thrown weapon.
It's a D6 normally, so D8 now. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can have those, and you're like, don't have a sword for you yet, but I imagine you can do some damage with these.
Snow is very appreciative. So yes, these are good. I can tell the quality. Thank you. I'm just gonna test that it worked.
Vincent wants to look
Throw
around the.
one across the room and it blows up a mannequin.
Vincent wants to look around this blacksmith hall, and I'm kind of scanning the area for like a young up and coming blacksmith, someone who's like eager to prove themselves, like that kind of vibe off of them. Just someone who looks like they could do the job and do it well, but just hasn't had that opportunity yet.
This isn't exactly a regular blacksmith because it's like a family tradition. So there's not exactly anyone that like young and up and coming. I mean, the younger folk who are working here are like at least either the people who are working on the forge. They're like Griff's age or younger, or a bit older, so like in their 30s. But there are, like the teens in the family, like Griff's sister, who are helping out. So you could maybe proffer something to them if you wanted.
Yeah. While she's I guess I'll wait for her. I'll stand there and wait for her to get finished with Snow and measurements and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever she finishes, I will pull the dragon scale off my back. Is there some way that this could be fashioned into a shield?
I think we can get like participants.
Oh, it's already almost the right shape if you were strong enough to carry it, which I'm sure you would be. Yes, one of us could do that.
You.
She says, like looking for older people for a moment.
No, you. I want you to do that.
Oh. And she like looks at Griff for a moment and then looks past Griff to Grandad, this old Northman with a big beard that looks like the beard hasn't already been singed by the blacksmith's forge. It's like perfectly the right level where it's already been burned by it, and he's old and in like armor and has like a helmet, and he does kind of look and she's like, okay, a shield it is, dragon scale shield it is. Yes, we can. I can get this done. I can make this. Wow.
It would be greatly appreciated. No rush, we're leaving, but we'll come back, and I'll come back for it then.
She'll lug it aside. And,
Sabriel's mentally like, yes, I remember when I was like that 800 something years ago.
Yes, so she can set that aside, and she starts planning. She put like Snow's measurements on kind of like an abacus thing, and then she kind of puts that aside and starts like drawing. And she's very excited. She's like 16. This is like her first job, like proper job here. So that will be worked on probably by the time you get back. You'll have a whole bunch of new equipment, but you at least do get something for your trouble right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go get Mr. Stark?
Yes.
So I can return him back to the people I borrowed him.
Are you just going to be taking him along in your convoy? You're still going to be keeping not Zelius, I imagine?
Yeah, I think he'll take both. That way we have a spare horse for resting one horse over the other one.
Yeah, makes sense. So, anything else you want to do in Lendr before you start the travel south to the city of High Elves? No? Okay! And then Quill.
So, who was that? I forget her name. The woman that we talked to when we were last here.
Oh,
Who did
The
like
gnome?
magic and shit. I
yeah,
think it was the gnome?
Ink Lady.
Yeah.
Inkwell was the gnome,
Inkwell,
and then you also
yeah.
you
Inkwell.
never got the name of the shield maiden you talked to several times as well.
Best girl.
So there's actually, you know, this is a town, this is a culture that respects magic of a certain kind and color. So if you're doing divine magic or spiritual magic, you could do it in public. Wizards, less so. That's just why Smart Mantle is a bit more hidden about whatever the shit she's doing is clearly not accepted. But you could go talk to Inkwell or the Shield Maiden you talked to.
Right.
Warlock.
I'll go to Smart Mantle first then.
Oh, you want to talk to Smart Mantle?
Yeah.
You would see her. She's like kind of actually traveling past you as you're leaving this place towards her library, and she'll just kind of like stop and turn and see that you're following her.
Hi, I was gonna say hi
Hello.
to you at your shop, but I mean, I met you out here. Is it okay if I can get you to look at something?
Okay.
Like,
Peep is flirting.
Yeah, that's definitely the vibe she was thinking for a moment, being like,
Trust us with objects anymore, because
Maybe.
every time we bring her something, it's weird.
I'll pull out the hot.
no. Whatever you're about to show me, it'll be better in the cover of darkness. And she will like pull up her hood and pull in towards her village. It's actually already like kind of nighttime anyway. It's like starting to settle in, and lead you towards her her library and clear out a bit of a space. The library is actually a bit clearer. She seems like she's had at least some sleep in the last 2 weeks you've been gone as well. When you first met her, she had probably not slept for a long time. She seems a little bit more human at this point. But she will, like, clear apart a space and even put, like, a magnifying glass down and be like, put it down, whatever you got, let me see it.
Take the rock out and put it. Thingy. I found it in a campfire. Maybe more than a week ago now, I think.
A rock.
Yeah.
You want to show me a rock?
Yes, but it stayed warm the entire time, and it's really weird, and it doesn't seem magical. I asked Sabrail, and he said it wasn't magic, so I just thought, well, maybe it's just a weird rock, and I just want to know more.
Well,
I mean, it's
some of them
entirely-
there's no bad magic on it.
It's entirely possible that it's just a type of stone that holds heat very well. That happens, or maybe there's some kind of mild enchantment on it. But I'll look. And she does kind of do the kind of someone with knowledge looking at an object, and she does touch it multiple times, and is like, you said it was hot.
Well, it's like warm.
She taps it and doesn't feel that. Like, you can just tell from the way her like hands touch it that she isn't feeling any warmth. And then will kind of lean back a second guess and put a hand around her amulet and be quiet for a little bit. If you try to say anything, she'll go, shh. It is the start of a gift. It was given to you by someone. Not a human or an elf or a dragon. In the mortal sense, yes, it is a gift from a powerful entity that wants you to feel it. Imagine the start of a handshake before you even clasp hands around each other. That's what this is. That's probably why you're the only one who's feeling its warmth.
I was gonna say, wait, what color is it to you then?
Stone-colored.
So it's not orangey, like warm stone. What?
Yeah, it's kind of orange. But it's not.
Okay.
I don't feel whatever heat you're feeling. Whatever you're feeling from it, it's only to you. I have experience in the type of magic this is. It comes from some of the most powerful magic that we who are not blessed with a brilliant birth. We can only be granted magic from the strongest of places that doesn't care about good or evil. This gift is from the same sort of realm.
So you're telling me that I'm gonna get magic?
If you embrace this, yes, you could get magic as I have, actually. I once did a very similar thing. The omens I get are not from the winds. They're from below.
So how do I do? Do I need to eat it?
I would not recommend no, you need to. And let me be entirely honest that this is not necessarily a good idea. I'm not telling you to do this. Especially make clear, if you do this, that your friends out there don't think that I led you on to doing this. But what you would need to do is pledge yourself to the source.
Right. And how do I know what the source is? Do I just need to tell the stone?
I can do more magic to it. And she will, like, open a drawer that is locked. And she will pull out some tools, some ash, and some small little gemstones, and she will start pouring a little circle of ash around the stone, and will put a little bit of it on your snout. And she will hold the amulet. And this magic starts to form again from around the amulet. It's not like Grimwald's, but it does form these symbols and sigils in the air. Grimwald's magic is red, yes, but it's almost clinical. It's the magic of a wizard. This is the magic of fiends. There is a scent of fire in the air. The symbols that form are sharp and jagged and cruel. And around the stone, this horned, tailed shape starts to form. And she will actually lean back, her eyes glowing red. This magic is from the goddess of dragons. The goddess who dominates dragons. Who makes their will her will. The goddess Micah.
Micah.
She is reaching out to you, and if you reach out to her, and she will actually reach out a hand, and you can kind of see that, like, demon magic is kind of, like, forming all these, like, semi-visible scales and claws around it, as if her hand were a Dragonborn's hand.
People shake her hand. There's, like, a moment of hesitation, and then...
Oh yeah, there's the boom of magic inside you, of internal heat that forges burning bright, especially, it's almost like the feeling of like acid in your throat, but it's burning, licking, and fire will leave your nostrils, peep, as
Oh no.
dragon flame wells in your belly for the first time, and you are given a promise, Peep Morganak, that you will be a dragon if you obey the will of the Lady of Dragons.
Everything is going to be on fire in our camp next time.
And that connection kind of breaks, and her skin seems a little burnt, and that feeling kind of still like very spicy feeling in your mouth remains.
That was incredible.
It's a lot easier with a second person.
I knew there was something special about that rock. I knew it. Oh, I know I get to become a dragon. I mean, maybe eventually. Oh my god, this is amazing. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Is she like round behind a desk?
Yeah.
Or like, is she? Yeah.
It's like you're
She's
sharing
gonna
a
run
table.
around and just
so,
like hug her legs, just like.
Good luck, I suppose.
Thank
And she
you.
will like brush the ash off the stone, and it's got the texture of scales on the stone, on the hot rock. It's like little sharp scales. Allow me a recommendation. Get one of these, and she'll show the amulet, which, when you look at it, you can now really see that you now have that recollection, that connection of some kind of connection to the hells, and you can see the hell energy within the amulet, that she has likely done this before with this.
That's a good idea.
You
I'll
don't
do
want
that.
to drop it.
That nearly happened once. We were fighting will-o-wisps and it came out my pocket because they came in the night and I didn't have my armor on, so. But I got it.
Well, keep it close, always. Now you have accepted a gift. If you turn your back to it, this Lady of Dragons will be more furious than any other dragon
Oh, I can imagine.
would be.
Oh, I already met one and she scared me, so.
I don't know much more about her. I've never heard of her before in my life, but good luck.
Well, thank you. Maybe I should ask Vincent. He knows about dragons.
Oh
no.
The path you've just taken foot on, Peep, is not a path you share. I said this is easier with a second person. I have never... I had some people I was close to a few times. But it's not the path for the lucky or the friendly. It's not knowledge you share with your friends. If you tell them, I don't know if your lady will like it. I don't know if the power will remain. Did they feel the heat of the stone?
I only showed it to Sabriel, and I think Sabriel felt it warm, but then it was just out the fire, so it might have still been warm from that. I don't know.
Be careful who you tell, what you reveal. Keep it close, and it will grow stronger.
Okay. I'll keep it a secret for now. I mean, yeah. Eventually
Secrets.
something will probably happen, but...
Yeah, that's the way. Secrets never hurt anyone, so I'm sure it'll do well. I need to go to bed.
I'll let you go to sleep. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, and Peep.
Hmm?
Don't turn up dead somewhere. Don't make me regret doing that.
I don't plan on dying. Not anytime soon, anyway.
If you do. And she'll just go to that back room of hers and just slam the heavy door shut and then locks inside her house to make sure no one else goes into the back room. And just leave you there.
People leave and head back to where... I'm assuming the group's probably gone to Peep's house.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And Sabriel's like at the stables. sorting
I'll
out
find
the horses
everyone
and stuff. So yeah, you can find everyone. Probably getting ready to leave. Maybe you want to leave in the morning or head out tonight. You do want to go quite quickly.
Can
I was
I
gonna say we
check
should-
with?
Sorry.
Sorry. Can I check with the stable masters to see if they have like a child-sized saddle?
Oh. Yeah, they would, probably.
For half?
Okay,
Yeah,
I want
there's
to
half
get
ones, let's
one to put on to Mr. Stark.
Okay. There are prices for that, so I'll get that.
Peep is gonna become a dragon knight.
This is some Fire Emblem shit now.
see. Dude, if Peep ever turns into a dragon, it's gonna be so awkward because then Peep's gonna be bigger than Snow, and Snow will be like looking up at dragon.
But Peep can then go back to Thingy, to Colbarn.
A saddle is 10 gold.
Yeah, he'll just get one and put it on. They can swap it from horse to horse, and he's gonna show Peep, hey, you can ride Mr. Stark.
Thank you.
On the way.
Like,
hat on top of his head, just like,
today's been so good.
okay. I would like to go home now.
I'm sure we'll make the whole journey there with nothing getting in the way.
Right, Sabriel's like, I would like to see my pregnant wife that I'm totally like...
Do you want to leave now? Like in the night? Start traveling?
I think we should stay one night in town. You know,
I
just rest
think
up.
we should probably, we should at least stay probably and just leave early morning. That way we have the light.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anything any one of you do during the night?
Snow's gonna ask Sabriel
Oh no.
if he should bring the cart and Krita.
No. That's it's just an instant, just like we have 3 horses.
But we could carry more stuff.
No.
Should we bring the cut? No.
We can't
Right.
take the car.
Snow is thinking in his head. He's like, if we come across something where the cart be useful, I'm gonna remember this.
Sabriel's like, listen, we cannot get the cart up to my city.
Okay.
We would have to transfer everything on the cart
He's
to a
like,
chariot. Get it up to the city.
Snow would ask if it's okay if he buys a couple saddlebags to throw over one of the horses with some of his stuff.
I think that is probably fine. It's just, it is a flying city, so the cart is not going to be very useful.
Okay. Yeah. Snow wants to buy like 2 kegs of mead to bring
Poor Mr. Stark.
to bring with us on the way.
It's gonna be on Mr. Stark, by the way, the one
it's more
that
like-
Phoebe is on.
Yeah, it's more like he doesn't know if they have mead where we're going.
Saddlebags are 4 gold each. I do have the price for mead kegs somewhere. Let me find it while
Wait.
you're role playing.
Wait, does he ask this question? Do we have mead in Elflands? We
Yeah,
have
but it's
No,
not-
I don't think Snow is asking. I think Snow is assuming and buying mead.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's also like, even if they do have mead, it might not be the same as the mead that he's used to from this area, you know.
That's
I
true.
was just like, what are you sneaking drinks into the movie theater for? Like, what are you
So-
doing?
But yeah, so he wants to get like those like they're not like a big barrel,
Hand
not like
keg.
yeah,
It's a hand cake, one you can
so-
easily carry like the best mead in the city.
Yeah.
50 gold a keg.
Oh shit.
Jesus Christ.
Like
Yeah, I'm buying two.
famous Northman mead, you know, like the best of the best of the best, sir, is 50 gold a barrel. Like
I'm doing it.
Oh, no, that
and
was
you
a
get like
peanut,
you
not
get
a
like the
cashew.
whole
What's in the
spiel
cashew?
from like the beekeepers being like, and it's
Oh,
blessed
it's
by the great Selby the bottomless, and it all goes over your head, and you're like, I'll buy it.
Yeah, so is excited.
Sure. Okay.
And you could just
Oh.
put a keg, like a still a pretty big keg, on either side of this
Yeah.
poor injured
With the-
horse. Still,
No,
this is the
he's
one
been
that
on the
got
break.
sandblasted. They have had a break, but they are still sandblasted.
Yeah.
So
And then he'll also feel bad for like the like the extravagance and over the top nature of the purchase. So he's gonna donate the rest of his money to like the town hall to help with repairs or
there
something.
is an orphanage
Okay, an
in this
orphanage.
town.
that
There is a
works.
big orphanage.
Yeah.
Which
So I'm
might
gonna
be open.
donate the rest of my gold, which is 21
Everyone
gold.
just steals a child and leaves. No, I'm kidding.
Sabriel is just starting to collect children.
He really is, though.
It's part
Yes, I'll
of
donate that.
the Sun Elf mission. There's not been a child born for 100 years!
Yeah, well, he's working on
So
that.
we just collect other people's.
Yes, yeah, basically.
No, listen, he's made some children. They're just not ready yet. They're still being made.
But here's one we made earlier.
You're still cooking.
Okay, anything else anyone wants to do during the night or early morning as you're like kind of getting ready to leave on a crisp,
No.
cool northern morning?
Sabriel will
think we're
just tell Cal in sleep times, hey, we're leaving in the morning, and that's it.
Cal will
I have a
say
pet
that
rock.
this magical quake does change things. And he will be trying to get back to the city around the same time you are. But it might be a bit later.
Okay.
Because he's in war right now. Husband's
Well, I
at
mean,
war.
Yeah, Sabriel's gotta talk to the council, and that involves him hubby too, so he'll...
Okay, so onwards towards the elven city of Thunderol.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is a great place for a little baby break. Refill your drinks, etc. And you can get on the road in a moment.
Okay, good, I gotta pee.
Yeah! Important to do that before a long
Right,
journey.
yeah.
You shouldn't
Yeah.
go before you left. All right, we are back, and you can start the long-awaited travel towards Thundrol, towards the Elven Land, south. Very exciting. It's probably one of those things where, like, you're starting to head off, and I think Vincent would be the only one who would care to look at a map of where you're going, realistically. Think about this party, and you can go like, okay, we're here, we have to go here. It's like, on the continent of Jarviskjir, you're almost traveling like a third of it on this, right?
Yeah.
And for a little while, it will be traveling through the same kind of climates that you traveled in to return the Hobgoblin Orb back to them. The first few days will be very much a, before you leave, this is a journey that will take maybe a month, maybe more. Do you want to buy raw rations?
Yes.
Because I'm about to start chunking weeks away of time.
Oh no.
So you might want to buy like a month of rations each, which would be 15 gold for a month of rations.
I already gave up my gold. I have 19, but can I forage for food to supplement that?
It depends the pace you want to go at.
I'll grab mine in Snow if I notice that Snow's not buying any. I'll grab some for him.
You notice that
Well, I have
Snow
a
no
lot
longer has a
now.
coin purse.
Yeah. I spent all my money on alcohol.
You know, you're that age.
He'll share
I'll-
the alcohol with everyone, though. That was the plan. He wasn't gonna just like it was gonna be for everyone. So.
I'll walk up to Snow and say, "Here, you bought the booze. I got the food. Here you go."
Okay.
How many rations is that at 15 gold? Is that like 30?
Yeah, it's a month, so there's 29 days a month, and let's assume you're giving a tip, and also it's packaged, so you know what to do. So just for ease. What else was I gonna say? There was something. There was another thing before you guys left. Ooh, well, I guess it wasn't important if I don't remember it as you guys are about to leave. Of course, oh, yes, so you have a horse for everyone but Snow, which makes sense. Snow is giant blood, Snow is massive. What pace do you want? But Snow can travel at the pace of a horse, nearly, especially if you're not galloping the whole time. What pace do you want to travel at? You've said that you want to do this quickly. It will be probably a bit less than a month at a normal traveling pace. That would allow for foraging and stuff. You could go at a faster pace. It means you'll be less perceptive, but that will cut it down to definitely 3 weeks, probably a bit less. And then if you were going at a really fast pace, you could probably get there in 2, but you would be, exhausted by the time you get there.
I say we go for the fast, but not the super fast pace.
Yeah, the midway between the
I agree.
normal difficulty and not the easy or hard difficulty.
Yeah,
So that's
We're
why
not
take
going
3
fast,
weeks.
not very fast.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's always a relatively safe one, because basically the mechanical downside you get is disadvantage on perception checks, if you do any. So you won't be able to perceive the environment around you as much because you're going quickly. And this is very much, I mentioned it on Ori's last stream, but this is the Lord of the Rings montage. This is the traveling over hills and valleys. You've got the, do I even have a similar one that won't get me arrested by Lord Universal Studios? Actually, kind of.
There's one on Roll20 that's like a Lord of the Rings, like Middle-earth morning music.
Yeah. As you travel, the first area is the cold environments of the north, but you're not traveling over the ice lake of Bastillion or anything like that. You're traveling closer to Slate Cove. It's the sort of areas you traveled in before, in that it's rocky hills, and there are roads. Not the finest roads in the world. The finer roads would have actually taken you through Slate Cove, which you can't take, because if you look to the distance while you're traveling, some clear days you see an ominous ring and the mountain of stone that form beneath it of the ruined town. And it does glow with that orange, baleful light as the quake continues. The magic of the ring continues to grow out of control. But the route you take is mostly, it's over hills, under hills. It's sort of either in the middle of valleys or on the valley ridge through these rocky climates, and the weather is not horrible. You actually get a lot of clear days where there's no snow or anything, where you can travel really quickly, and let's be honest, your group, you're not really going to be preyed upon by mountain wolves or bandits or anything. You're traveling so quick with so many, like, you're not a good target for anything like that. And in probably around 8 days, you make it to the edge of the Aelendai Forest, the ancient Aelendai Forest that is essentially the entrance to the Elven lands. The Aelendai Forest is a massive redwood forest. These big trees that stretch up further than you can see in some cases. And it's still cold. It's a very snowy environment. It's not snown for almost 2 weeks, actually, since you've been traveling. But you're doing the weather. It's not snowing for nearly 2 weeks. So actually, as you're traveling like in areas where maybe some places even the grass is trying to bloom in the middle of winter. And the Aelendai Forest is not covered in snow, and you can kind of see more of the climate around areas of smaller trees growing where the sun streams between the branches, and old elven roads that travel through. Sabriel would easily guide you towards one. It would have been the one that you took to get out to Lendr, so you know what you're doing, and it's not really an issue. And they are well maintained enough. But as is the topic of elven roads that aren't on a core trade route, this was probably built before Sabriel was born, and Sabriel is 900 years old. So there are areas where routes creak through the stonework, and areas where, yeah, okay, the stonework has moved because of the terraquake that just happened, with all the earth elemental things changing. It's clear that that still had an effect. When you enter the Aelendai Forest, you start to see very small elven communities, small elven villages, thorps, 2 or 3 high elven buildings nestled into either places of core resource or places of beauty. And there is an elder fading beauty to this forest, right? And especially the big redwood trees. And these elven buildings are usually white plaster or orange, and they often have these big windmills, and they're put in a place where the wind kind of travels between the trees. And they may even be places you want to stay and get some information or anything, if you're interested. Or you can just keep on traveling past. There's quite a lot of them in this part of the forest.
Does Snow get any like stank eye from the elves? If
you ever travel if you ever pass an elven party traveling on the road, hunters or anything of the sort from these thorps, oh, absolutely. A lot of high elves are very religious.
He'll return those stank eye stares. He doesn't like elves, even though he is one. Kinda.
Sabriel will just be like, don't provoke them.
No, he's not gonna provoke them. He's just, if they glare at him, he's gonna glare at them back.
You kind of get, everyone gets glared at, but then when they see Sabriel, they're like, oh, they like bow their heads, and some will even like clutch if they've got like amulets or any kind of religious symbol. Because Sabriel is kind of an angel, sort of.
Cue Vincent going, who are you?
Vincent's actually just kind of taken in by all the scenery. This is farther south than he's ever been in his life, so he's just kind of taken in this new sight of these buildings and these elves and this forest is, you know, all that kind of stuff. So
it's unapologetically elven. These small villages, far spread apart, as you go through the Aelendai Forest, and you don't have time to wait, you don't have time to talk to rumors, you don't, you know, spend similar camps to other people, I guess, so you just kind of keep rushing through. It is one of those weird ones where, yeah, you're traveling for like 3 weeks, and we kind of gloss over it quite quickly, because you're in a rush, and you're traveling with a large group, and, you know, all of you have your own problems to deal with. No, this is why is like desert oasis music starting? Get out of here.
Oh, this place has changed.
Wolf is back. Sabriel's worst enemy's back. Mr. Stark starts like, oh god.
Sabriel gets to see his husband. I thought you said you were in a war, not Armageddon. Just a glass parking lot.
That is just a war to me.
Fair.
Sabriel's like, I've been to Armageddon.
The routes and roads get much more deliberate the closer towards Thundrol you get, and those that can read Elvish would see Elvish signage towards Thundrol. But still, this side of the forest in general, it's mostly populated by forest weirdos, not wood elves, like high elves who live in their own little villages. You pass, like, yoga elves, I'm not even kidding. Like, this is not a highly populated chunk of the world for elves, but it is elven territory, and it's very protected by elven territory. You would even pass, actually, as you get very close to Thundrol, you're on essentially almost the ringed roads that travel outside its territory, but still can't see it yet because of a dense forest. You are passed by a large brigade of elven soldiers traveling east. You would know, Sabriel, that they are traveling towards Than Shiraz, which is the only entrance your people know to the Underrealm, to battle the enemy of the usurper elves beneath the earth. So, you're not surprised to see high elven soldiers travel that way. A lot of them look fresh-faced, maybe a century old, in armor that is... Yeah. High elves live less life than you, and even for high sun elves, you are elder as well. Very few high elves ever reach your age. But yeah, they are just on the crest of adulthood, going to war, mostly on horses. But they're not necessarily war horses because they're going underground. They're just traveling on horses right now. And it's one of those things where when they realize they're passing a sun elf, these people are like, I don't think they know whether it's a good omen or a bad omen, but it's an omen for them. They're very polite as they pass. It's like single file on the road past you of like 20 at least. Wars aren't fought in high numbers for elves usually. When they are, it's those cataclysms you talked about. Traveling past that, you see the high elven city of Thundral. The Aelendai forest kind of starts melting away piece by piece into more of first a pine forest and then kind of just the verdant banks of a large river. In fact, it's actually called the Fair River on your maps. And where that river sits is the city of Thundral. It sits either side with a large area on one side of the river and another on the other, and these big walls all around. It's a very big city of these, buildings that, okay, they're elven style, but they don't look out of, very unusual. I mean, Vincent, they don't look unlike the buildings in your city of Northman. And then you look up, and above Thundral are these islands. First, there's a big one where you can see, all these kind of cottages, and there's these communities, and then there's one with these big skyscrapers, almost like, it almost looks as if a great musical instrument with its strings glowing in the sun, and then even further above, where you can barely see it because of the light, is High Thundral. High above the rest of it, high above the Sky City. Right now, you only see a glimpse of what look like brilliant cathedrals that both glow in the sunlight, but also cast a deep silhouette down. Very kind of small compared to the rest of the city. But yeah, it's definitely awe-inspiring. This is, again, unapologetically elven. And the High Elves have flying islands above their city, and flying fortresses even higher above.
Snow would definitely be blown away, yeah.
Q Vincent, who are you?
Peep's mind is just...
Sabriel's just gonna be like, I told you, my name is Lord Commander Sabriel Valion. And I live up there. And he points up to the very top floor.
Yeah.
I heard it was high, but I didn't know it was that high.
Vincent looks down at Pearl and says, we don't have wings yet.
How do I get them up there?
You're gonna have to take a taxi.
Okay. He's gonna go to the gates, I guess,
Mhm.
and present
You-
himself.
Yep, you approach the gates. This is, like, especially the lowest part, very fucking fortified. But in a very elven way, it's beautiful. The walls are painted quite a brilliant white with kind of yellow and orange brick higher up on the crenellations, and all these watchtowers with the flag of Thundrol displayed quite proudly, which I don't think I've actually ever shown anywhere, but it is this sun. It's a sun. It's a big circle on white with these curved rays of light around it. The sun elven symbol has the sword as well. But the city of Thundrol, it's just the sun. And they're like quite proudly displayed. And the gatehouse here, it would be, there's a big gatehouse on this side of the city and big gatehouse on the other. And it's grand, and there is a queue, right? There's people entering on big gatehouses of these cities. There's the huge gate, and then there's smaller doors in the gate where, you open up the small door, and you let in people traveling by foot, and then there's people traveling by horse. You can go to the horse side and travel in. And when you approach, you see high elven guards. They are wearing their finest armor with great tabards, and high elven armor style is somewhere between, a Knight Templar, but still with the kind of curves of elven armor that you'd imagine. But they very much look like knights. Like, this is fully armored, but you can still see the hair traipsing behind the armor, and the tabard that shows the all of the rank and whatnot, and would be wielding quite proudly like a great sword, and actually it'd be a long sword, and there's a few of them, and they are like, halt, state your business, and then Sabriel can just step forward on the horse.
Are they speaking in Elvish, I'm assuming?
It would actually be in common because they can see that you're not all elves. Do you see everything? Do you say anything, Sabriel, or just bask?
Not at first. He's just gonna look at them. He's gonna move forward, make himself noticed, get off the horse, and hand them the reins to Mr. Stark.
My word, my lord, a grand welcome. I bid you to the great city of Thundrol. It is an honor to serve you. Please allow us to let you move out of the way. This is a sun elf from the high city. We should let them in. You are immediately given the grandest treatment because, again, Sabriel is essentially an angel to the high elves, basically.
I have these 4, 3, 5 with me.
Of course, your whole party. We will allow them inside. And they will sort of write into the ledgers and things, because this is a society very much ruled by law. It's very part of their religion. Everyone else who's entering, there is a long entry process checking the passports, the visas. Everything is written down. Here's it's Lord, was it Lord Commander Sabriel Aphelion and group. It's very quick because they don't want to stop you for too long, and there's a special stamp they have to use because you're a sun elf entering the city, and they will rush you into Thundrol, the city of high elves. And they are I apologize so much for the wait. You should go through. If there's anything that we can offer to you, Lord Commander, or anything at all.
I need a chariot to go up.
Of course, obviously you want to go up to High Thundrol, and they will they're stumbling over each other with elven etiquette to try and get everything sorted. This is the first real sign you'll get of just how, I guess, important Sabriel is, and also how different Sabriel is to a high elf. You've known vaguely from his descriptions that a sun elf is different to a high elf, but Sabriel has golden skin, there is a glow, there is a shimmer. The high elves, they have kind of a yellow skin, sometimes a little bit metallic, but they don't have that glow, that inner light. Clearly related, but different, very much different. And even the armor style is different in its own ways as well. And they will quickly prepare for you a sky chariot being led by Pegasus. These are Pegasus of high elven breeding. They are not your Pegasus, but they are
They're
acceptable
the Walmart
enough.
brand.
They're the Walmart brand Pegasus that lead
Snow's
the
like-
chariots.
When Snow sees the Pegasus or Pegasi, I guess, all like, because there's probably some in the sky making trips right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Snow is like, they are real.
Yes.
This is incredible.
Ta-da!
He fucking would. He fucking would.
He's just like, He's like, this is my house. This is not even my house. Welcome to the poor part of the city.
How just also so like as far as so I think I have a good picture of the style of architecture, but how big is the city? Like just like how
So
big is it?
I was gonna say that, like, as you're past the what's the word here? Immigration office at the gatehouse, you look to a big, you can see the streets. The streets of the city are wide. There are these dense buildings that are beautiful. The city on the ground would be bigger than Lendr. And then there are several flying islands. There's a district that's kind of like commercial cottages or residential cottages, and then there's kind of like the big city, like almost like a shopping district of London, those skyscrapers, the Sky City.
Okay.
And then above that is High Tundra, which you can't even see right now because of how high up it is and how much in the sun it is. It's big. This is a big city, but also it's elven. It's big, but not sprawling. It's not too cluttered or choking in its size. It's not a megatropolis like some cities. The areas you're traveling through do seem a lot more touristy. There's a lot of people entering. There's merchants from all over the world. It is grand. It's brilliant, but it is also, the touristy entrance to the city. Before long, a couple of chariots are prepared, because you also need to bring the horses. And
Wait, so I could have brought I could have brought the cart and the mule.
No.
Sabrel's returning Mr. Stark. He borrowed
Yeah.
Mr. Stark from the gate. Mr. Stark's going back to
Pearl
where he
and not
lives.
Zalius need to come with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
The ambush.
I can dismiss Pearl if we need to.
By the way, we probably drank all that meat on the road, right?
Did
It's all
you?
gone.
The hunter
Well,
got
no, I mean-
mead?
Because it'd be everyone. Like,
is
it
3
was
weeks.
for everyone.
Sure.
It's 3
yeah.
weeks drinking a little bit each night with everyone. Yeah,
Sure. That's good
Yeah.
enough.
it was some good
Um,
partying on the road, though.
Okay. You can get on these chariots, and again, these are essentially taxis to get you higher off into the city. They are led by Pegasi, and the chariots themselves have enough magic, so it's not like the Pegasi start flying and a chariot like dangles under them. It stays level, and in a few moments, you are off the ground, flying in these chariots. No seat belts, just like benches
Fucking
around the
texting
edge.
on his phone.
do I need to make a Constitution check? Because Snow has never flown before.
Sure.
I was about to say, Vincent, who has never flown in his life, is very boisterously, nervously laughing out loud, but very much like Drax
You're
in the Guardians of the Galaxy, just just rambunctious, enjoying his life.
Peep, like, you are several feet off the ground. Peep, you run and throw up off the edge, and you do hear a high elven voice below be like, "My word! and then chariot
Sorry.
goes up. You join! You join!
Vincent doesn't make it the whole way. Gets
Vincent and Peep
Oh, no.
throwing up side by side
Oh.
as you fly up.
Cyberell's
I'm
like,
not
oh,
gonna do good as a dragon. I can't fly.
that's nice.
Again. Let's go again.
Oh, you're still going. This is a long drive because you're going up, and it's like spiraling up around the
Yeah,
sea, which is
oh,
probably
yeah.
worse for your.
They probably
This is
don't
probably
just go
worse for
straight
your
up.
stomach, but it's not as bad as just going up, like flying right upwards.
Straight
like
up.
10 G's. It's like
It's
Kerbal
the
Space
elevator.
Program.
It's the elevator from Charlie Willy Wonka.
Oh,
and the
yeah.
Chocolate
Yeah.
Going out of it like Coach Gaming.
Bethesda our way through the clouds.
Soon, you will actually reach the cloud layer. There's not much, but enough. And as you pass the city of High Elves, you will bear witness to Hythindrel, where Sabriel has been saying he wished to return all this time. This is smaller, but denser, more deliberate. Very old flying islands compacted together, each one holding a cathedral of grand golden shapes. Hythindrel is a flying fortress, flanked by these long obelisk towers that, again, they have kind of a bit of a medieval old worldy shape to them, but also these grand, amazing, Renaissance era cathedral aspects. Everything seemingly made of gold, or at least accented and decorated with gold. It's starting to grow into that golden hour in the afternoon, and the whole city is awash with a warm light. Very few shadows fall. The ones that do are very deliberate, and you can see grand plazas and the occasional Pegasus flying around, and also, even from the sky, how empty it all is. When you were flying past the sky city of Thundrel, you could hear the hum of activity. You could see chariots sending people all over. You could see people on balconies celebrating deals that they've made with merchants from far away. You travel up to High Thundrel and expect you should hear grand prayer, or maybe the sound of combat drills, and you kind of hear nothing. You see no one. It is astoundingly empty. Hythindrel is a fortress city made for an army in the at least 10,000, now with a population of around 400. It's quiet. And when you land, because this chariot is being driven by someone who's allowed to come up here, and the end of the chariot, down onto this grand plaza where this is the only place civilians land if they're sending you off. It's the grand plaza towards the main palace. It's very quiet. This plaza has very few people in it. The few people that are there are on guard duty, and they are Sun Elven Crusaders wearing armor much bigger than the High Elves. Armor of it is incredibly ornate to every single detail, has a degree of engraving and whatnot, and they wield a shield and sword, or maybe even spear or bow because they're on guard duty. But, there probably should be a whole lot more than the ones that are on guard duty now. And the ones that are on guard duty seem like the ones that have probably already taken big knocks in battle before, and they are, 400 or so at least. The Sun Elves you see all look old. And it's not just because of their actual age. The very population of Sun Elves, every single one is starting to fade. Elves fade when they have less meaning in their life. They start to lose their memories, their way, their path. The lines on their face grow heavier, their eyes grow distant, their hair loses its luster. And the Sun Elf Crusaders you see on guard, the ones who will kind of approach and check who's entered, Yeah, they are 400 or so. Sabriel's far older, but they have already lost their way. They already have a distant look in their eyes. And you, they will approach and kind of check, and they will know you, Sabriel, and start speaking in Celestial above the heads of the others, this beautiful language that sounds like every single word is from an opera, right? It's almost like an operatic tune. Kind of like, you know, checking if you're alright, where you're going to return to, all of those things. But there is a melancholy that hangs over the place, even as the warm sunlight fading at the end of a winter's day washes over it.
Do they give me stank eye?
They don't care about your existence, they care about Sabriel. The two
Okay,
crusaders
that's
that go up are talking and only addressing Sabriel.
That's good, honestly.
He's going to tell them that he needs to go speak to Ballard, and also he's going home while he's here. So,
Are you going home first, or are you going to Ballard first?
that's a good question. Cal said he's gonna be late, so Ballard probably first, and then he'll take the new skeleton pet and the new robot pet and the weird lizard dog and the human and the giant to his wife, so she can be confused.
Work first! So you're going to your boss first.
Yeah,
Okay.
boss, yeah.
So you could start leading the party across these. It would be like a white mosaic paved street with lanterns that are lit by sunlight that start kind of glowing a light as the day grows darker, flanked by grasses and things that they don't even have the staff to keep this as maintained as it should be. The gardens are ragged. Anything you'll want to kind of talk about, discuss? It's a lot of walking and it's a lot of steps on the way, outside even.
Do we pass the stables on the way?
The stables, no. It's like the plaza you land in goes straight to the Grand Palace and the High Cathedral. But the stables is its own area, and so is the gardens, like the true gardens where you grow the
Sabriel's gonna whistle a very specific sound as we are walking.
Okay.
And hope somebody hears it.
The sound kind of echoes, and you're still walking. It's time for people to talk about things if you want for a sec.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, this place is kind of creepy. It's just
It's majestic,
empty.
but yes, it feels like something is wrong.
Is the threat against your people this dire?
The threat is time, which we were running out of somewhat. But there is some hope in my house right now with children, so that should lighten the mood somewhat, which I need to tell that to Lord Protector, who we are going to see. On that note, I should probably warn you.
As that happens, there is a swoosh of Zelius II landing very close. Too close. And Zelius II doesn't care about the kobold or the giant. This Pegasus lands and just basically tackles you. And like an excited Labrador would.
Snow's like, oh! It like jumps back.
Immediately letting out these winning sounds that are, even the vocalizations. These are true Pegasi. This is the origin of the Pegasi down below. There's something even more bird-like, but also like a rock or something, right? Like the sounds aren't exactly that of a horse or a great bird, but they're somewhere kind of in between. And the wings are majestic and a glow, just like Sabriel's skin are a glow.
He's hugging it.
It's very happy. It's a very happy horse. that doesn't really know it's a big horse in the way, as horses do.
Totally doing the thing from Hercules, like,
Yeah, as we have planned, Zelius II has
Is a
inherited a
good
lot
bird
from
brain.
their parentage and is a bit of a dumbass, well-meaning dumbass. They're not stupid. They're just like a goof. They got a lot of personality, as they would say in the Stavies.
You
Yeah,
leave my himbo horse alone.
it's a himbo pegasi.
Could I be?
My idiot.
Could I? No, I was gonna say if I could do my ritual to be able to speak with animals, but it takes like.
I don't
10
think
minutes, so-
Pegasi even count.
No,
Yeah,
they
they're-
count as
they're
a celestial.
celestials.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you wouldn't even be able to do that.
Ah,
It's beyond you.
He just pats
I need
him.
to
He's
speak
like,
with
okay.
celestials. I need to get that.
He's like, okay, I'm back. Calm down. Don't step on anyone. Like, don't step on the small lizard child. Actually, Peep, can I pick you up?
Yes.
I would have picked Peep up and put him on Zelius number 2.
Zelius is like turning around, like, what did you just put on my back? The wings are like,
It's okay. The birdie horsey. It's okay. It's
kind of
it's
does
okay,
a little
just
bit of
me.
a jumping gallop around, like very like the kid. You can't see it on stream, but there is a jumping kid, and that's exactly what the horse is doing.
Oh my god.
Stop jumping on the couch.
Not Zelius II
It
is
was my
definitely
kid.
like jumping around on ancient flowers that have been maintained for hundreds of years as well.
Stop! No! Stop!
Okay. He's like,
Ooh,
like,
me
"Stop."
next.
No. Even though he can
There's
totally
just a
carry you, no.
crunch.
Sabril, do you say that?
No.
was
I
gonna say,
mean, my
Sabril
wife
just
says
pat-
the joke, but-
Sabril will just pat him and be like, his dad could carry an entire griffin.
You travel up into the palace, go see the Lord Protector.
Yeah, I'll send the take Peep back off,
Is-
and then I will send horse away.
Is there anything that we should or should not be doing to not offend anybody? I don't know, like any rituals or like.
I
There's like 4.
don't know that there's much offending Lord Ballard.
I just don't want to be caught with my my proverbial
Just-
pants down.
Well, not just that, like.
Don't be a smart ass, Sabril. Don't be a smart ass. Sabril will just shake his head. Just be aware he may be a little bit less coherent than I am.
Will I have any trouble for being like I am?
That would be no, correct? Because Sabril's in charge of the one lady, right? Like he kind of can give her orders. The giant lady just
Yeah,
doesn't
they are.
interact with her.
So the population of Sun Elves is so low. The faction of the Sun Elves, the Solar Guard, has started taking in High Elves of high repute, and the giant blood High Elf is of that Solar Guard. They're basically like the reserves that kind of help out around here and down below, protecting the king mostly. Not this king, the king down
Yeah.
below. You are above
Hell-
the royal chambers of the king of High Elves already.
Sabril's banging his niece. It's fine. But no.
That's kind of
You
the
should-
yeah.
You should be fine. And actually, there's someone here if she's around that you can speak to, if I can find her. But first, there's someone like you here.
Oh. I've never met one like me.
How would he's not. I've not interacted with her often. It's
No.
at all.
This is
really.
like one of those things where you are essentially the CEO of the organization
Yeah.
she works for as the lowest tier like guard.
Yeah.
So you
I
don't
just-
know her. You need to undercover boss this shit.
He's not gonna undercover boss this shit. Everyone knows his face. There's no way in hell he could undercover boss this shit. Him, Ballard, or Cal? None of them. No. I can send a message for her later to meet with you.
Yes,
They
let's
start
meet with
making
your.
random noise.
Let's meet with the one you serve.
Yes. Someone's not gonna correct him. He's like, really?
You finally get up the first step well onto this raised area where you actually do see some of these crusaders in less of their armor doing training maneuvers. They're doing training maneuvers, but they're all like 200 years old, which is like an adult by elven standards, because as has been mentioned, there has not been a child born in this city for 100 years. 105 now. It's going up. But they are training because they are kind of ready for war. There's just not really enough to be excited about. There are guards who kind of like give you the bow as you enter. You go through this grand chamber that has on the walls these big stained glass displays that show all the battles of the Sun Elves, that their purpose, their great wars. There is the battle against the giants, the Sun Elven Crusaders in this incredibly detailed stained glass. Battling the giants. There is the battle against orcs. There is the battle against what this single-eyed void entity surrounded by tendrils, with someone who looks kind of similar to Sabriel on the stained glass, because Sabriel has a very particular hair color. You'd recognize that hue anywhere.
Several a little bit apart.
And there are similar like things of like, okay, here are all the battles. There are actually a few more than that, but those are the big three. And you keep going higher and higher in this palace, which again, pretty much empty. But the actual like core of this palace, where the leadership decisions are made, is still populated, and you can go up to the personal chambers of Lord Protector Ballord Rulius, which is basically a castle on top of this palace. You would be able to enter Sabriel, like the doors are magically locked, but like as you kind of approach, it's like they will shift and change and move.
I would hope Sabriel has free access to this area.
Yep. And this isn't like Ballard's home the whole time. Like when we've done some stuff, like Ballard lived in different places. He's only come here as his Lord Protector. He's been Lord Protector for a long time now. And you enter this big chamber that is circular and has this display of the sun on the ground with a pedestal and all these kind of awnings that go into other rooms of this circular castle. A lot of the buildings are circular or octagonal or something of that angle. And you can already hear clattering around in here, kind of. Somewhere else. Ballard isn't in this downstairs main like entrance chamber.
He actually does sigh. He's like, God damn it. Wait here. I will go get him. It is best not to surprise him. You might get punched. Gonna ignore Neil right now. You might get punched. He goes to the clattering noise without waiting for confirmation.
You only
that
get like, yeah. You only get like across this chamber towards a doorway, and then all of you can hear, although it would be in Elvish, sadly, that Sabriel, do you know where my blue robe is? My blue one.
It's in the. He's gonna tell him exactly where it is.
No, it's not. I looked exactly there.
Sure. Okay. He's gonna come up and find it. Exactly, probably where it was.
Yeah. You could go find it, pick it up. It's exactly what you said. And go to find Lord Ballard Rulius, who is already walking away from you towards the main chamber, in his slippers. He is clothed. He's wearing a different robe, but he is also
Okay.
in slippers. He's very
No.
old.
Rope on his hand.
You
Sick.
cast a hand of law and like Spider-Man his hand. He's like, Sabriel. Ballard looks at you. Ballard is taller than Sabriel, even with the kind of hunch of an old man. But unlike Sabriel, he really looks old. His hair has faded to silver. He only has his face has long creaks, and he kind of has that hunch of age. Every step being heavily weighed. The clothes he wears are very comfortable. They're essentially an old man in their pajamas, but they're sun elven pajamas. They've got enchantments on that would cost more than your whole civilization. And he's wearing clothes. Now, how translucent the clothes are is another question, but he is clothed. But you also can see he's holding something under his robe.
Oh no.
He has one eye. The other eye has a golden eye patch. The other eye is glowing with sunlight. You can't like see the eye anymore. There's just light. And he will kind of see, and as you're like pulling him closer with the robe, like, Gabriel, you found my robe. I didn't want the blue one. I wanted the red one. The blue one wouldn't go with my. So I You must have already prepared the palace for me before I woke up from my meditation this morning.
Ballard, I've been gone for 2 months.
No,
Yes.
you were here the day before yesterday.
No, that wasn't me. That was when he names off whatever sergeant he assigned to him for like his absence.
No, I would know Sabriella Phaleon anywhere.
My hair is pink, yes.
Your hair is pink. And he will, like, play with your braid.
He's gonna. What does he have?
He is holding the orb of fortification. It is the very powerful magical object that controls all of Hythundrol, and he is just holding it under his arm like a football.
No.
It is this big, like, orb of interconnecting pieces, like a Rubik's orb, almost.
He's just gonna hold his hand out for it.
Like he accidentally crashes the whole thing into the city below.
Sabriel, you are not the Lord Protector. Only the Lord Protector gets to hold the orb of fortification. If you want it from me, you'll have to get it. And he'll start going, and he will very quickly cast a spell magic on the rope and start, like, running, and you guys hear just the slap of slippers getting closer.
Sabriel's gonna tackle his ass, I guess.
Give me an athletics check. Give me an athletics check against Valord.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh! He did not roll well.
Is he about to eat shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys see in the doorway entering this big chamber, this big, like, it would have like 12 entrances and exits. You see this old Sun Elven man running, and then Sabriel just tackle him from behind and get him to the ground.
Snow grabs his weapon, doesn't pull it out, but he just holds the weapon. He's like, what's going on?
Sabriel's gonna, like, take it from him.
No!
That's fine.
No, Sabriel, you're not allowed my balls, Sabriel!
I am, but...
You fiend. You
He's
nasty,
taking his
mean
face.
fiend.
No, Ballard, we have to work now. But I have a surprise for you.
I don't have to work. I'm too important.
There's a dancing
Ballard, I know I'm the one that runs this city, but please listen to me right now.
I run this city.
Yes, you do. I have a surprise for you.
We have guests, Sabriel!
No, yes, but I have listen to me. I have a surprise for you for after we deal with the guest.
Roll me to the other side, but my eye is on the other side. I can't see them.
Have you seen Alina today?
Who?
Okay. I have a surprise for you after we do work.
Gabriel, we have guests. Get off me.
No.
We have guests.
Are you going to behave? That wasn't an answer.
I will behave. Sabriel.
Okay,
When have I ever
give
not
you-
behaved?
I can name many times, but can I have a surprise for you? If you get up and be good, I will let you see it when we are done with.
I
This
can't
conversation.
possibly get up. I've not got my blue robe. Oh, I'm ready. Okay, let me up.
I just put it on him.
Yeah.
Put it on him before I let him up. I
Yeah.
take the slippers off. I put his boots on.
And he will step out into the chamber. It's like, ugh!
I fix his
Sabriel!
hair.
You didn't like as he's stepping out, you're like you didn't tell me that we had guests. Oh. Sabriel.
That's not the surprise.
Sabriel, there is a giant in this room.
No.
Foul giant!
Snow just-
I will protect you, Sabriel! And he will step forward. As he does, magic starts to glow from around him, and you see
Snow's
balls
about
of
to die.
fire fade from non-existence. Suns, not a little star, but balls of flaming gas. A solar system of suns start to around
Can I
him.
dispel magic?
Yes. Because he's done this
Snow's
before
like-
when he's got spooked.
Snow had his hand on the weapon, but he just puts it down and he's like, ah!
It's one of those things where you definitely feel like the starting of like really intense like heat pain, and then it's like disappears. Oh.
Snow doesn't know what they were talking about in Elvish, but he's like, in common, he would say, I apologize for my intrusion. And he would actually do like a bow. Or like a kneel, I don't know. Whatever he thinks.
I need wine. He says in
I'm
common.
very confused.
Okay. Sabriel.
Sabriel, take this, and he hands Sabriel the orb. And we'll go
I
in.
already took it.
he took it back at some point, and then he gives it back, and then we'll go to an area of wall, and he will pat it, and with like a musical tune, and it will to a wine like area on the wall. And, Sabriel, we have guests. What are you doing?
Yes,
You should
I'm-
greet them.
I brought them here.
You've been with me the whole time.
No, I haven't.
You were here this morning before.
No, and before you get to it, Caravella's not here either, but he is on his way back.
Yes, I sent him
We
to
have
deal
business.
with them.
Yeah, well, he's coming back. We have problems.
No, it's not time for business, it's time for wine. I have wine.
No. You
This
said
would be
you
in
were going
common
to-
at this point, by the way.
Sabriel switches to Celestial real quick. You said you were going to behave.
Behaving. I'm not. I wouldn't upset you, Zabriel.
Thank you. I'll give you your surprise when we're done talking. He switches back to common.
Who are these people?
Happening. What is
We are
happening?
we are travelers. We are here because we found a giant ring on top of a mountain.
Sir Vincent Annias.
Oh, God.
It's a small boat.
Sir Vincent Annias of North Enden.
Or it
I
My
am
lord.
matters a lot.
Snailcorn of the Planavar.
Pete Morganak of Lendr.
It talks.
That's my reaction too. Sarah has a proud old man moment. That was my reaction too.
It will go up to Peep.
Hello.
God, don't crush him.
I won't crush him. I didn't crush you when we sparred.
Which time?
What do you mean, which time? Every time's important to me. You brought me a little rat. Is this the surprise? Is this a gift?
No. No, the surprise is...
It has a sword! Do you know how to use that thing?
I swing it.
I used to swing my sword. Back in the day, I swung my sword all around.
Is that a euphemism?
Yes and no.
Swing against biggest monsters.
Yes, you stabbed the beholder in the face.
We're not allowed to use that word.
Face.
The other one.
It is a beholder.
Exactly.
Sabriel just points down to the stained glass window with the Sabriel in it.
Yeah, and now you can see actually in that stained glass there is this man, but in a 700 years ago.
Yeah. Sorry. like he's more horny.
This man is less stern and far more horny. Sabriel has been his friend for 700 years. So I'm sure he's much more stern with, a runaway child.
Oh, I'm sure Sabriel is too. Get your little ass back here. Go. Valor, we need to call the council meeting in the morning. That is what I needed to discuss about my mission that I just came back from that we discussed.
You were on a mission?
Previously.
What
Yes.
kind? Did I give it to you? I did. Very good.
We both
Did you win?
Yes. No. Yes. No. There's no. That's why I'm back.
How can you not be sure, Sabriel? You're never not sure about anything.
And that's why I'm back. We need to speak to the council and make some decisions, but I think it can wait a few more days until, Cal returns.
Calreveil's return. Okay.
Okay.
Whatever you think is best.
Mm-hmm. All right, now do you want your surprise?
I have a surprise.
There are. He's trying to think of how to word this to where he's gonna take Peep, right? He's gonna move Peep away from Valor.
Like out of sight.
No, just out of reach, out of physical reach. And he's gonna move the other two back. There are babies coming.
To fight?
No, babies. Alina has baby.
Who's Alina?
My wife. Mine and Cal's
Your
wife.
wife is Fendolin, my good friend.
Oh no, Ballard! Oh no. Sabra, I'm gonna make a check, see if he can keep his face straight.
Sabra's just gonna start crying.
Yeah, what would that be?
Wisdom or intelligence or charisma. To stop crying is a charisma save. That was nearly a 1. That was very nearly a 1, though. Let's be honest.
It would have made sense. It would have made sense. No, Ballard, Fen has been dead for a very long time. Alina.
Has baby.
Yes.
Where did she get that from?
So he wanted to say has baby.
Has baby.
He's gonna just look at Ballard with his back facing the others. Go away. And just be like,
So you can make like. Oh. You had sex with this woman.
Yes.
I don't know if I believe that, Sabrael. I know which way your toast is buttered.
You would, yes. But
Vincent leans over to Peep and just goes, so they just openly talk about where their toast is buttered? He's like getting into this like it is like a
Soap opera.
telenovela.
Yeah.
He is in this.
It is, basically.
This is his old man stories. Like he is like,
Where
just
is-
give him a rocking chair right now or a recliner. and
Sabriel just admitted that his first wife has been dead for a very
Yeah, it
long
really is
time.
like a telenovela.
oh, there was a very stifled, oh shit, behind Vincent's like lips.
What is this
Oh,
got to do with
Sabri-
toast?
Don't. Sabriel just puts his hand behind him like, don't. Do not explain that to the child.
Good.
Do you know what that means, Ballard?
He gives you a look that, and it's a look you've only seen a few times. It's a look he only gives to you of
Oh no.
he's completely lost and scared in the situation. He doesn't know what you're talking about.
He's gonna switch to Celestial. Alina is pregnant, Ballard. With a sun elf baby.
Son, there hasn't been a child born to the Sun Elves for 105 years. What does Cal Reveal have to say about this? You're muted again. You double unmuted yourself. Celestial's very confusing.
Well, my keyboard's been weird since I poured a whole ass cup of tea on it a while back.
There's Peep hiding behind Sabriel to learn about toast. Horror movie. Sting.
He agrees with me on my assessment.
Very good. I can't begin to truly understand what all this means. But I know if you know, then it will all get sorted. Yes. All this issue with you needing the council and the ring and the baby, I'm sure that you and Calrevale will be able to do excellently. What? What are you looking at me like that for? You have something on my face. There's something under my eye patch.
He's just like, why don't you come to dinner tonight? He says this in common. Everyone's invited to dinner tonight. But he's specifically saying it to Ballard so he can see the wife.
Dinner. Yes, the peasant word for a meal, yes.
I'll come get you.
Okay.
Snow
I'm
would
going to go lie
say
down.
Snow would say, if you'd like, sir, we could arm wrestle at the meal.
Oh no. Don't. He's gonna look right at both of you. Don't break my table.
Sabriel, who is this?
He's someone I found that's helping me with the investigation of the city that
Ah.
disappeared. Yes.
I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Does he take the wine with him to bed?
He tears the wine and the orb again.
No!
Don't drink and control the city.
No, Sabriel is straight up taking it.
Yeah, and he
With
will just
them
start
to his
shuffling
house.
off to one direction. At this point, the sun has set, and the stars are visible in the glass roof of this room.
Just imagine he
And-
walks through, you just hear muffled through the wall. It's like, watch me drift this bitch.
No, Sabril is taking the orb to his house.
Well, you can. The orb has a spot. That's what the pedestal is for. But
I know.
are you
but
just
he
gonna
doesn't
take
trust
it?
him right now.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
He's probably done this multiple times of just taking it home when Ballard's like this.
Ballard gets it back, inevitably.
Oh, he will when it comes to dinner. But Sabril's gonna give him a few hours where he doesn't have it because he doesn't want the city to end up in the city below.
End up in the sea. Sure. So, you all just witnessed all of that. Some of it was in common, some of it was in celestial. But yes, that is Sabriel's leader. But I mean, you don't even need to do an insight roll to see that it is a very different bond that they have, but also that this individual is very far gone. What are you doing?
On that note, we can go to my house. You can stay there. I don't have any beds. We don't use beds. I can find a bed, I think.
I am
can
fine
just
sleeping
snuggle.
on the floor.
Yeah, I can just snuggle in some blankets.
Okay. Let's
We all
go to
have
my
bed
house.
rolls.
There's plenty of floor pillows. There's just no bed.
The big tent. Actually, do I have it with me?
Actually,
You have a big
well,
tent.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't. Sabro's gonna tell you not to pitch a tent in his house.
In
He's
more
gonna, I
his
guess,
religion.
lead them.
Did
he's gonna lead them
Sabriel
to the
realize that he
house.
said it in that way when he said it? Did it register?
Said what?
Clearly not.
You can lead the party towards your home. Outside of the Grand Palace, you go around the edge of some of these buildings where there are these beautiful semi-garden walkways. Literally the edge. There's wall, but still, you could jump off if you really wanted to. Because Sabriel's house is one of the free-floating towers. It is docked onto the city. So right now it looks like it belongs there, but it looks like it could never have been built there because there's no foundation. But it is this octagonal tower. It's like technically it's like 3.5 stories high, but the stories are very big. And again, the door would just kind of recognize Sabriel's presence and unlock. And you could step inside. It's quiet. There's the sound of bird song. The entrance to this house is this entertaining room with a low dining table, which is like you sit or kneel at it, that has like a tea set, ceremonial things. There is a curved stairwell going up, another stairwell that goes up to the meditation chamber, and then there is a stairwell down as well to the kitchens. You would know that Alina is probably on the balcony of the study where the birds are, if
You will
anywhere.
call up to her. That way, she's not surprised by strange people being in her house.
Yep. Because you
And
called your
skeleton.
husband that you were coming, but not your wife.
I told him to tell her.
Yeah, but like he's busy.
Keep on.
He calls up for her.
She doesn't come down, but she does cool back down in Elven. But you know, she's up there. She says
Okay, he will.
I'm with the birds.
Sabril's birds. He loves him birds. Don't eat my birds. And he points to everyone like, I don't know if you people eat birds, but don't eat my birds.
Is that
He
a
likes his
concern
bird.
here? People just walk up and eat your birds?
No, but I like my birds. And also, there's artwork on. I'm ignoring him. There's artwork on all of the walls that Sabril.
Well,
is
not
dead,
down,
too.
not so much down here. When you go up to the
Well,
study,
upstairs, yeah.
I'm gonna be describing some stuff.
Oh no. There's more. There's more publicly acceptable art in the entertainment room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Statues as well, and like armor stand. There would be your armor
Still-
down here, probably. Like
Oh,
your
yeah,
actual
Sabril's armor.
real armor, not your I'm going
Not
on a
his
milk run
pajamas.
armor. Your pajamas.
Not his pajamas. Yeah, he's gonna lead them upstairs to wife and show them around the house so they know what they're allowed to touch and what they're not allowed to touch.
Leads up to the study. Study is a big room. And it's basically these rooms are just the entire floor, right? The study is a wood-paneled room with several desks, lots of books, lots of scrolls, and lots of paintings and painters' equipment. And the paintings are mostly Sabril's husband, Sabril's first wife, Ballord, and Sabril's current wife, naked.
There's also Dad.
And Dad.
He's got a painting of his parents up there too, but it's not
Are
naked.
they also okay? I was gonna.
No, they're not naked. And there are ones of them not naked too, but it's clear that like the and it's not a sexual nudity. It's
Yeah.
a basking in the beauty and strength of their form. So there's younger Sabriel, clearly not painted by Sabriel. There's also a really bad painting of younger Sabriel. Like it's splotchy and like badly done. Right beside, it's the same pose as the nice one. And then there is someone you could only assume is Sabriel's husband. You've never seen him. A darker skinned sun elf with teal hair. And you see paintings of him getting older. Ballord as well. You see Ballord much younger. Ballord probably isn't naked. He probably has a tastefully but not very concealing piece of silk. And then there is paintings of Sabriel's first wife, Fendlin, a very bulky, strong Sun Elven woman with red hair. Big buff wife, who is no longer with them. And then probably more tasteful paintings of Alina, who you can actually see outside through the window and the balcony, who is not a sun elf. She is a high elf. She's very plain. She's got brown hair, light skin, a ponytail. She's just sitting in a chair by the birds and the flowers on the balcony with some bird feeders and things.
As we pass the like paintings, or like Snow would like motion to the one of Sabriel's first wife and be like, she looks like she was a good fighter.
Oh, Sabril, gonna be sad now. He held it in for Ballord. Yes, she was. And then he kind of gives Vincent a look for a second, like, but
He immediately recognizes that pain.
well, he gives him a look of, and then humans were the ones that decided she should not be alive any longer.
Yikes. Obviously, Snow doesn't say that.
You say it in giant under your breath.
Oh, no.
You have far more patience than I.
Oh, I killed the ones responsible very quickly. But that is not a thing that I'm quite willing to forgive very easily.
I would be hesitant to travel with any of my kind if that's what took her from me.
Oh, if you had said you came from Goldport, I would have probably sent you packing very quickly.
Understandably so.
Sabriel!
But you... Yes?
These guests...
Mm-hmm.
You,
Yes.
yeah, she doesn't get up. She's an elf.
Sabril's going to lead them out there to her.
Sabriel,
And he's going to give her a little box.
And she will take the box, but then... Because here's the thing. You know she's pregnant. she hasn't told you yet. So she actually
Yeah,
does
he
have
hasn't
that.
let
that-
on.
yeah, she actually has that moment of like, and she's got a very sweet face, and she's clearly in love with this man, and kind of takes his hand and like puts it on her little stomach. And even though it's quite early in the pregnancy, she is a high elf. The bump is noticeable. And kind of, just smiles at him.
Do I need to make a performance check like he pretends he
No,
didn't
I think
know?
it's one of those things that she might realize that you knew in like a couple of moments, but she's still excited.
Yeah, he'll smile at her about it. Like, actually give her a smile properly, which is rare for him. So, yeah. He won't say anything. He just is like, baby. Ori doesn't like babies. Sabriel likes babies.
You've brought a strange group of people into our home, your home.
It was necessary for the mission, but I can let them sleep elsewhere if
No, it's fine. It's been really quiet since you've been gone. I occasionally had my attendant come, especially, to get food and things from elsewhere in the city. But with you gone and Calravale gone, it's been just me and the birdsong. So I'm okay with having guests here. That's fine. If you all want them to be here.
Good. Ballard's coming for dinner tomorrow night.
Oh. Okay. Are we cooking?
I will handle it. And you guys are like, Sabriel hasn't done any of this like mundane bullshit around you guys. Like, I'll cook. It's fine.
Snow is like, I can help cook. I can cook some of the dishes of my people.
He looks at her like he's.
What?
I don't know these people.
They're fine. They won't
I will
harm you.
cautiously approach and bow.
Yeah.
And in Elvish, I'll say, Sir Vincent Anias, at your service, my lady.
She has that smile and giggle of someone who isn't actually treated like that very often, because she's not a sun elf. She's just a high elf in a sun elf city.
Snow would do the same thing. He would, in common, because he doesn't know Elvish, but he would say, I am Snow, and I apologize, I do not know your tongue.
Very pleased I am to see of you. She doesn't speak common.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does she speak giant?
Sabriel will do any translating that he needs to.
She has
unless she
enough. She can.
Yeah.
She has enough.
The thing is that Snow is a high elf giant blood. Like he is he is like the same like ears as her and just big. He's just bigger and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think she would be able to tell. I think like
Yeah.
Caravale probably could tell when Caravale gets here. But yeah, she's happy to see everyone, and she'll open the little box you gave her.
It's just got the necklace and trinkets he picked up for her while he was out. That's all it is.
Nice.
He doesn't think it's much. He's just like, here's a trinket I found. It's probably like some super expensive bullshit.
And it's very much that like Sabra's like meh, and she's like nearly at tears, very happy. She's a she's a very emotional baby. Especially now she's pregnant. It's gonna get even worse.
Pete, would you like to show her what we've been working on?
Oh, yeah. Like, people, like, sling off the backpack and dig through to find the toy we've been making.
The few toys, because we were making a couple.
Yes. Because there was. Oh, I'm trying to remember them all. There was
A
horse.
dragon and a horse?
Dragon and a horse. Was there more?
I think,
I think that was just
one-
it. I think there was.
Yeah.
I think it was just
I think
two,
we
and
were
you had
making
another idea you
extras
weren't
just
gonna
in
go.
case, Yeah.
You had other ideas, but I think those are two you make, and they're done now because you've been
Yeah.
traveling for a long time, and like they're
Yeah.
painted. And
The-
she would she would take them and smile, and then like as she's smiling and looking at Peep, she will say in Elvish to Sabra, like, "How long have you known? And how have you known? I did not know."
I'm a healer.
I
Oh.
suppose. Very thankful gift. And she'll put it at this little side table she has, and you can prepare for all the various things that need to be done. But now you are here in Sabriel City, in Sabriel's home, finding out about this long-lived Holy Crusader and the very different world that he's lived within. And that's where we're going to end off today. Next week,
I arm wrestle
Politicking.
Balord.
you arm wrestle
Yeah, that's
Balor!
it.
Break Sabriel's dad's table and he's gonna be so mad. He's gonna be so
Literally.
mad.
This week on Jarviskjir, Snow breaks a table.
He's gonna like march Snow and Balor down to dad's corpse and be like, which is a statue, by the way, and be like, "You apologize."
He
No,
would.
I'll be careful.
Yeah, that's very exciting. We've wanted to do that for a while, and now it's all revved up, and maybe you'll be able to get some aid for the problems in the world.
TM.
TM. Problems TM. That was a good session. We went a little over time because I wanted to really start doing all of that while we had the passion. Real quick, we're going to talk about other things we're working on and where you can go and find all brilliant people on this show, starting with Zach.
Hey guys, so yeah, you can check me out at Next Level TTRPG, Next TTRPG on Twitter. Right now I'm a little bit on hiatus. You can't see it because I've got a wonderful green screen behind me. My house is completely destroyed and taken apart. We're packing things up, getting ready for the move in a little over a week now. So, but once we get over there, we're going to be getting everything set up for some other streaming fun and activities. So,
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Next up is poetry.
Okay. Yeah, I do a lot of variety streams most days of the week. Lately, I've been doing some Sekiro speed runs, and my PB is at 48 minutes.
Whoa.
Still, I'm trying to bring that down to like under 45. I've also been doing XCOM, XCOM 2, and yeah, it's been fun. That's about it.
Next up is Quill.
Hey, just been doing my posts on YouTube and ruining people's Twitter timelines, just as usual. So
The last few have been pretty mostly wholesome-ish. Okay.
Yeah, there's been some wholesome ones. There's been some nice ones. You know, I did some cool, the thingy, the auditiony shit that I'm pretty proud of. And today's meme, I even collab with the wonderful Johnny Matrograno. which is
Yo!
cool. So yeah,
Nice.
Mr.
And-
Duke Nukem himself.
Next up, the Duke Nukem of the Sun Elves, Ori.
I don't know. I think he's probably more like Doom guy.
I was gonna say
Oh.
Doom guy. Yeah.
Sabriel's got the Doom music playing around in his head.
That's just because me and Ori have discovered that playing Halo Infinite matchmaking with the Doom OST playing does improve your gameplay, especially in
That sounds
Fiesta
pretty
mode.
good.
It really do.
It really
but
do.
Yeah, Hi, I'm Ori. I play big sad landlord Commander Sabriel, who now has baby ? TM.
I mean, it's gonna be a while until that baby hatches. They're elves.
Well, yeah. But yeah, I do the arts for my job. I don't have commissions open at the moment, but I'm opening them next week ? So yeah, hit me up for that shit. I stream stuff too occasionally when I'm feeling okay, like The Witcher 3 because elves. But also tomorrow is our on week for Ghosts of the Greenwood, the Lord of the Rings conversion that we're playing on my channel, where Ian and Zoe and Ollie and other people are wandering through my wonderful world of Mirkwood. Dwarves are turning into werewolves and shit. So
And
yeah,
elves are
that's
assholes.
happening. Hey,
Which I shouldn't be
didn't
surprised
say-
at.
Shit,
Ruvain's an asshole.
Ruvain gave you healing supplies.
I don't care if Rue's your special baby boy. Ollie, hates Rue as a person. No, it was a cat. Like, if I met this person, I wouldn't like that person. Which means you've done a good job for me to be like, you're Grimbly the whole time.
He's way older than Sabriel and way more jaded and salty.
Yeah, if you want like Sabriel squared, that's in Ghost of the Greenwood.
Sabriel like times 100. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I'll post a tweet tomorrow when we're going live.
And then there's me. There's here. Thank you for everyone being here. Thank you for new peeps popping by, all that sort of thing. This is where I do actually a shout out, because it was being mentioned in chat, but if you want to see a completely different perspective of all of this stuff, check out Jarviskjir and Mother's Love, which took place earlier around this. It has a lot of Sun Elf stuff going on in it from a very different perspective. And this show is also supported by Patreon. If you like the content, you can support for any amount of money, and you get little rewards for every little thing. Just little baby rewards. But if you support for $5 or more a month, there is an extra weekly show that is a thieves game set in the northern city of Udar, where I give them heists to do, and they do the heists. And we also have a show on Wednesdays called Mind Over Matter that Quill is currently guesting in, which is currently usually an Underrealm game, but currently in a slightly different place. That's very much a good game if you want to learn a lot more about the deep lore of the world, because there is a sorcerer who wants to know everything. Full stop. So
Everything.
any possible thing that could be asked is asked, researched, and sometimes eaten.
So he's Johnny Five.
I mean,
Yeah.
Sabriel
Needs more
can be
input.
just as bad. Sabriel can be just as bad. We just haven't gotten into anything that Sabriel gives a shit about.
But now you're back in Babyland, maybe. And I hope you'll join us all next time, where, as we know, Snow will break a table trying to wrestle Ballord. There'll be more telenovela drama and more innuendos to go over Sabriel's head.
He's gonna roll in his grave. My table.
This week on Jarviskjir, Snow breaks an ancient table. Pete tries to fly off high control.
Literally, that table is.
I'm a dragon!
Fight Sabriel.
That table is probably like over 1,000 years old.
We're just ghostly. I can't give a good filter for it. But just the Snow is gonna go straight through that table, RKO style, and then all the ancestral ghosts will be like, "Oh no, our
Sabriel's
table!"
ghosts are just
It's
gonna
broken.
appear in the room. Granddad and Dad are gonna show up in the room and be like, "My table."
All right. Well, we're going to say a little thank you to the Patreon supporters who do make this show possible by paying me. And we'll see you all next week for more exciting adventures of Jarviskjir. Goodbye.
We need to make a telenovela like entrance song now.